feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride
Getting
no
their back, okay? Comey says, this afternoon we're going to be showing some explicit exhibits. So these are going to be pornographic images. They're going to be in a binder. So not to be on the council screens, but council will come up and see them at any time. The justice, okay. Bring in the witnesses and the jury. They say, all rise. Comey says, have you seen this man? Jane says, yes. Sean brought him to our hotel in L.A. I was in a robe and lingerie, the whole wardrobe I usually had. AUSA says, what happened in the living room of the suite? Jane says, I knew this was something I couldn't fake. AUSA says, well, what do you mean you couldn't fake it? She says, I was repulsed by him. I tried for 30 minutes. Then I told Sean, can I talk to you in the bedroom? There I told him, I can't. I tried again, but no. I told Sean, I'm sorry. How did Diddy respond? Diddy was agitated. Then another man came. Comey says, did Sean talk to you first? No. Who's this? That's a man I met with in New York. I told him I didn't want to go to New York if it was just to set me up with a man. He said, no, one-on-one. So I went. So apparently she's now saying multiple times here that Diddy is telling her, no, me and you, we're going to do our thing one-on-one. And then when she goes to do her thing with Diddy, or she'll travel, and by the way, this is help proven sex trafficking. I'm going to be honest. Yo, if you lie to a girl or you promise something and you renege, that becomes sex trafficking. It does. Especially if you promise a sexual advance, a favor, or promise an act. Yeah, I could see it. Because again, it's interstate sex, sex trafficking at that point. And also, remember by force, fraud, or coercion, like you're lying. So if you lie to someone, right? Like the idea that you fly somebody out and it's sex trafficking, that's not true. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm flying you out for $300, I'm flying you out and I want to fuck you and I want to pay you $300. And she's like, okay, I'll come fuck you for $300. Now, the difference between that and the prostitution charge is that she flies out, she sees you, and you fuck her and you don't pay her the money, then that kind of opens the door to what sex trafficking is, right? Especially if, there's other mitigating factors where maybe she told you like, hey, I need this money for rent, this and third. You're like, all right, cool, come get it for rent. That means, you probably coerced her and also you use fraud to basically acquire sex. And especially if it's, they call it commercial sex acts, right? So it has to be, it's kind of like hazy, at least for me, about what commercial sex acts are. I don't want to Google it, though. It might bring up porn. Anyway, let me Google it over here. What are commercial sex acts? Okay, the definition of commercial sex act means any sex act on account of which something of value is given or received by the person. Okay, so basically if you're getting paid for it, right? Okay, that makes sense. So I met a man in New York. I told him I didn't want to go if it was just to set me up with a man. He said no, it was going to be one-on-one, so I went. Comey says, did you get Wi-Fi on the plane? Jane says, yes. Sean sent me a text. Says, do you want entertainment tonight? How did you feel? She said, disappointed. My thought of seeing my lover was shot down. AUSA says, where did you go in New York? She says, to the Trump Hotel. Jane says, I saw the assistant set up the room with red lights for hotel nights. I took this photograph. Okay, so she took a photograph of the room. Not shown on gallery. They don't show it to the gallery. What happened next? I told Sean, I don't want to do this. He was just super defensive. Okay. I feel like I have a nose here that's fucking just like tickling me. That's why, if you're wondering why I'm touching my nose, pause. Okay. I don't want to do this. He was super defensive. What happens next? Jane says on the way back to the room, Sean gave me a pill. Ooh, yeah, this is getting bad. He's drugging her, right? You would imagine, right? Or at least giving a drug she's not asking for. AUSA says, what's this? He said, ecstasy. I took it. The man was in the room. We had a small talk. I let him touch my leg a little. I took Sean to the bedroom and told him, I can't do this. How did Sean react? He was agitated. I called another performer. Why? That's a hard question. At that point in the relationship, I just knew what he wanted. So she said she couldn't do it with the random guy that Diddy had. So she told him in the room, yo, I can't do this shit, bro. And then Diddy's mad. So she says she calls up a guy because, remember at that point she was starting to have a little rapport with certain dudes. She clearly wanted the same dudes if she had to do it. She claimed she never wanted to do it, but if she had to do it, she wanted the same dudes. Diddy always wanted a different dude, okay? And so was Sean paying your rent? It says yes. Did he mention it? Okay, let's see. Objection. Judge says time frame. It said was this after Sean started paying your rent? Jane says, yes, I called Sly. He was excited. He flew to New York that night. Damn. So Sly was like, all right, fuck. I'm coming through. I'm coming to get that pussy. So he flies from Atlanta to New York. And so what happens then? It was nice. We had sex in front of Sean at the Trump Hotel. Wow. Jesus. It is definitely getting real up in that courtroom, chat. It is.
Especially during those moments where she got super emotional and she began crying. And then I also saw them looking at AUSA Maureen Comey, too, while she was kind of doing her lines of questioning. And so there were times where you could see jurors looking at Maureen Comey, then looking at Jane on the witness stand, or they're just laser focused on Jane. Or some of them I've seen are just jotting down a bunch of notes. I have seen a lot of notes because there were exhibits that were shown and a lot of exhibits that were shown. Unfortunately, during Jane's testimony, we in the gallery and even those in the overflow room cannot see it. But we're hearing a lot of descriptions of them. For example, the many lines of escorts and the escorts photographs that the jurors saw today and that Jane saw today too. But from what I could see of them, really it seems like they're paying very close attention. I didn't see any outwardly kind of facial expressions as far as maybe being confused or anything like that. Really, they're just kind of like, I really kind of want to know myself what's going on in their minds sometimes, because sometimes they just have a very stone cold face kind of going on while they're listening to a lot of graphic testimony.
By the way, did you hear that recording that was played in court today regarding, I think you could hear Combs, Jane, and this guy named Don, right? What was that recording?
Yes, well, let me get to that part of my notes. Because
I'll tell you what, as you get to your notes, I will give you another good question for you. This is from I Do Voodoo 1. Elizabeth, I forgot what skincare you use. What shorthand program are you using? You rock. So if you want to answer that, or you want to answer the more serious question about the recording as you get to your notes.
I mean, I can always answer.
It's
I
working.
love answering those types of questions. Because my skincare looks good, or is it a iPhone recording? And so it was a conversation that was recorded by, I believe it was Diddy recording this on an iPhone, because that's kind of what they did during these hotel sessions and these hotel nights. And so one of the conversations was recorded about Jane wanting the escorts to wear a condom. And so when we first hear the exhibit, because again, we can't see it, but we can hear this audio, the jurors can see this, so you can hear voices. It's all jumbled up. I'm kind of like, what is this that we're hearing? And Jane said it was herself on this recording, Don and Diddy on this recording. And she said during this video, she was asking Don to put on a condom, and Diddy said, what are you doing? What do you want? And so then Maureen Comey replays it again, and she kind of takes it piece by piece as far as what was being said. So Jane said, I think they're in the chair, and she was referring to as condoms. And then Diddy said something along the lines of, you were just taking that D if you don't touch yourself right now. And then Jane was explaining, I understand that my request was going to be denied. And then Maureen Comey asked, well, why did you need permission from Mr. Combs for an escort to have sex with your body? And then Jane's getting pretty emotional here. And then Jane herself responded, I don't know, I'm still trying to process everything. And then there was an objection from the defense. They had a sidebar. And then when they came back from this sidebar, Maureen Comey asked again, why didn't you insist that Don wear a condom? And Jane responded, I didn't want to disappoint my lover. He wouldn't be in a good mood or satisfied with the night if she were to continue asking this. And she said for the most part, Diddy preferred for the escorts to not be wearing rubbers or condoms when they're having sex with her. She said that he doesn't like seeing these on the escort's body. And so it was just an interesting kind of recording to kind of hear out in court. At first I was like, what are these words? Like, I really couldn't comprehend it. But as they broke it down, I was kind of like, oh, okay, now I can see where they're kind of going with this a little bit.
So, got a great compliment just came in from Donnie Z TV. Thank you so much for this super chat comment. Jesse, you and Elizabeth rock, so thank you so much. Very kind of you to say. Okay, we did have a question here from Shop Girl, and I don't know if you were in court for this. We saw reporting about it. What was the extent of Diddy's aggravation when he was obviously angry speaking to his attorneys? There was something reported about that. I think the jury had been excused maybe on a break, and he was quite animated speaking with his attorneys. Did you see anything like that?
I didn't see anything like that. I might have been a point where I stepped out to use the restroom, but I mean, wow, I'm just hearing this for the first time. So I didn't see it in person. So unfortunately, I can't answer too much of your question. I think I might have just gone off to the restroom, I guess, when that moment might have happened.
So Elizabeth, would you agree with me and pick out the points? Do you feel that from today's testimony and a little bit from yesterday, they are solidifying transportation to engage in prostitution, where Diddy is accused of transporting sex workers and alleged victims for the purposes of prostitution, for the purposes of sex work? You don't need force, fraud, or coercion necessarily. It's more of a straightforward charge. Were there some highlights today that you say they got it in the bag for that?
I think so. For example, when we were seeing just the number of escort exhibits, we saw a man named Don. He was an escort that Jane and Diddy had used. And the last time she saw Don, this particular escort, I thought it was interesting. The last time that she had sex with him, and during these hotel nights, even though sometimes they didn't always happen in hotels, the last time was August of 2024. So like just last month, or not last month, oh my goodness, last year, but a month before Diddy was arrested. Then there was an exhibit shown to the jury and to Jane. It was Paul the escort, and that Paul was used from 2021 until July of 2024. Jane thought that he was a personal trainer because he actually trained Diddy, but he also worked for Cowboys for Angels. But I think the sticking point here is that she saw him in Los Angeles. She saw him in Miami. She saw him in Turks and Caicos. There was Leo, the escorter, also referred to as the Italian. She met him in 2022 on her birthday. The last time she saw him was in 2020.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's get a couple more tweets in here, people. All right. Jane says, me and Sean had to go our separate ways, but I didn't want Sly to feel like we were just leaving him. So cash was brought to the front desk for him by an assistant. Comey says, which one? Joey. He said, this man, I had sex with him in front of Sean. And another, he said, that's a Spanish buff man. He felt a bit odd. He was a bit odd, I felt. He was pulling out this scent to smell during sex. I don't know. He said, in front of Sean? Yes. And another, he said, a man who looked more European at L'Hermitage. We had sex twice. AUSA says, which entertainers did you see most often? Paul and Sly. AUSA says, which ones did you reach out to? I reached out to them. Also, Anton and Don. Damn. So Daphne was ran through too. Damn, yo, Diddy has had like 50 or like, well, shit, I think Diddy had 50 women, 50 men fuck 50's baby mom. Ain't that ironic? Diddy made 50 niggas fuck 50's baby mom. That's crazy. So these are our favorite escorts. Paul, Sly, Anton, and Don. 4 dudes. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, imagine wifing up Daphne after that shit. You know what comes to mind. I think I played the sound effect already. I ain't gonna lie, man. After 100 niggas fuck your chick, man. Like, come on, bruv. Come on, bruv. Somebody says 50 was the mark. I wonder if this is gonna sound a little wrong. I wonder if 50 has maybe some buyer's remorse too. Put it like this: if everybody know that that's the town whore, and again, I hate to refer to these women like that because they're saying they're victims, but if every nigga is running through her, I don't want to be the nigga who gives her a kid, right? Like, you don't want to be the nigga who gives her a child after everybody is running through her, right? You don't want to be that person, right? I wonder if 50's now saying, man, I should have. Because 50 was legit dating her, right? I wonder if 50 thinks like, man, I fucked up. I shouldn't have had. But I'm pretty sure he loves his son. He loves his son, right?
23, and that they would use him every so often, but she saw him in Los Angeles. There was an unnamed escort that she was shown an exhibit of, met him in 2021, and this was the escort that she said that she was repulsed by him, that he was super sweaty, he had smelled, she was hesitant with him, and that he was used in just different places too. So I think if anything, that the prosecution does have that working for them. I think it is still kind of up in the air as far as count 4 goes when it pertains to sex trafficking with Jane's specific count. But as far as just transportation to engage in prostitution, I think Maureen Comey is really kind of making great points here and there where it's like, well, where did you see this individual? Was it in Miami? Was it in Vegas? Was it in Los Angeles? And even for Dawn, for example, one of the first escorts that that Jane had booked on her own, she was explaining that he was someone that they always flew out from Atlanta to wherever they.
Nah, chat, y'all foul for that, chat. Y'all foul for that. Niggas say, you gotta go get some. Right.
Many men wish death upon me.
Many men.
20 years I'm death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Many men. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men. Many men.
Yo, you ask her body count, she's like,
many men.
Uh-huh. Yo, Daphne, how much is your body count, girl?
Many men. Heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men.
How much?
Many men. Wish death upon me.
God damn.
Were either it be in Los Angeles or other places, and that they would be arranged, the travel as far as Dawn was concerned would either be arranged by Jane herself, but she would be reimbursed by Diddy, or it'd be by Diddy's travel agent who would get everything going as far as making the flights for him and then flying him out from where his home was in it.
Now, let me ask you a question. Y'all think they were doing it solely for money, or they were doing it because they were in a relationship and they loved him? Because let me ask you a question. If you, not saying y'all are into this, but if you have a girlfriend, or let's say you're married, do you feel like you could convince your girlfriend to fuck someone in front of you? And if you're a woman and you're with a guy and you've been with him for 5 years and you love him, and he says, baby, like, I have this one fantasy. I just want to see you fuck some stranger, some random guy in front of me. Would you do it?
Atlanta, Georgia, over to wherever Diddy and Jane were.
Just to clarify here, Elizabeth, what are the points you think the defense is going to jump on? And when I say that is, I'm reading the transcript, and there's certain parts of her testimony that I don't think are great for the prosecution. You know, I mentioned it before, but the idea of there was this sweaty individual, and it doesn't seem, unless I'm wrong, Combs forced her to actually continue sexual relations with him. That she still talks like a loving relationship with Sean Combs, you know, that she wanted to be in his arms. She just wanted to be with him. She loved him. I mean, she was dating him up until his arrest in 2024, that she was the one who was writing sexually explicit messages to these sex workers, seemingly, you know, she says it was at Sean Combs' request. But are there certain avenues, certain points in her testimony today where you feel the defense is going to focus on, or you feel there are openings for the defense to exploit?
I think the defense is definitely going to ask Jane how she feels about Diddy today as far as whether or not she still has feelings for him. Because I think there are times during her direct testimony where you can kind of feel like she is a little apprehensive. I don't know if it's about testifying in general or that she may have kind of conflicted feelings where she was seeing this person up until September of 2024. They had a long a long relationship beginning all the way in 2021, not as long as Cassie and Diddy were together as far as that 11-year on and off period. But I think they're going to ask her, what are your thoughts on Diddy? Do you still love him? I think they're also going to ask her, you initiated some of these hotel nights. You were the one sending these messages to these entertainment or pornography stars, and you were the one making sure that you were bringing them to wherever you were. Were you a willing participant? Did you say no, or are you just saying that because the government called you? I feel like they're really going to poke holes in her story, possibly use her text messages against her as they've done kind of with other witnesses, and possibly ask her, well, you were kind of getting something out of this, and that was her rent being paid for. Again, that rent being $10,000 a month, which I did the math wrong yesterday. I said it was 8 times more than my rent. It's 5 times more than my rent, but still, that's a lot of money to pay for rent for somebody else. But as far as just where the defense is going to poke holes, I think they kind of have a lot possibly working for them. I think one interesting thing, Jesse, is that there was a moment yesterday where the judge was asking, can everyone stay a little bit later? Because they know that Jane has to get off the stand by Thursday because she has to make a flight. But Alexandra Shapiro stood up and was like, I can't stay late. And she was talking about it yesterday. She's like, I can't stay late today because I have this other event. But I really want to stay here for all of Jane's testimony because we believe she's one of the most important witnesses in the case. So I think that the defense knows just how important Jane's testimony is. But I think they definitely kind of have a lot working for them when they do eventually get to cross-examining her.
And by the way, if anybody has any questions for Elizabeth as we have our time with her, please submit them right now. Do you know if who's there on Diddy's side today? Is his family there?
Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of family members today. So, for example, we're seeing his sons, including, I almost said Tristan, but it's Justin and Christian. I'm sorry, everyone. I know today is Friday, and I'm feeling the Friday vibes. But also, Janice Combs was inside that courtroom today, too. His sister Keisha made an appearance today in court.
Yeah, the mom's been showing up a lot. Justin's there all the time. Christian's there all the time. We haven't seen the sisters as much. And Quincy pops in here and there.
She's been in there. Diddy's PR rep is in there. I think not on Diddy's side or anything, but I think notably someone in the courtroom today was Doug Wigder, who is Cassie's attorney. But as far as those who are on Diddy's side today, one of his really good friends and music producer, Charlucci, was there.
By the way, Chad, now that we know that it's Diddy's baby mom, not Diddy, I mean 50's baby mom, could we figure out what lawsuit, because she had to file a lawsuit. If she took the stand here, she got to file a lawsuit, right? What civil suit is hers? Do y'all know? Which civil suit? I'm going to have to go through 50 lawsuits and match the dates up with some of the stuff she's saying.
And his youngest daughter's mother was in there in that courtroom too. So he has a lot of support kind of working on his side today, a little bit more support than maybe we've seen for other days. But as far as just his daughters, we haven't seen them since week 1 of trial. So I think that's something kind of interesting. But he does still have his support system there, including probably one of his favorite people, his sons and his mother there, and his sister too.
There's always a lot of conversation about what happened yesterday and what exactly he was doing with respect to the jury. And, the question is if he's nodding towards them. This is a guy who has been accused for the last 3-4 weeks of intimidating people, witnesses, alleged victims, assistants. So was he potentially trying to intimidate the jury? It also could be maybe he was feeling the high of a successful cross-examination of a key witness, Brianna Bongolan, which we could talk about as well. But we get this question that came in from Ashley Glass. It's for you. If yesterday he was nodding at the jury, isn't that suspicious to him getting to a juror? Could they be compromised by Diddy? So I guess the question is there anything that you're observing here, Elizabeth, that would suggest 2 questions? Anything that looks like the jury might be siding with the defense, whether it's any kind of cross-examination that you've seen so far? Are they nodding? Are they looking? Are they responding positively to the defense? And number 2, do they look like they're affected by Diddy's presence or behavior in that courtroom?
Well, I don't know if they're necessarily affected by his behavior, because I thought after yesterday, after the judge kind of admonishing Diddy, I thought maybe there would be kind of a change in maybe facial expressions as far as the jurors not kind of looking his way. But I think because of the way the layout of the courtroom is, you can't help but kind of look over in that way or anything like that. But as far as just kind of him looking at the jurors, and let me just say, he doesn't just look at the jurors, he looks at everybody in the gallery too. There are moments where even us on the press side, he does make eye contact with us. And myself, who's not a juror on this case, I myself find that kind of intimidating. So I can only imagine kind of how the jurors are feeling when they're getting kind of looks from the defendant himself. And I'm also wondering, as far as just him nodding along, it was something, again, that he was doing, I think, a little bit longer than when the judge kind of pointed it out. He did this for other witnesses while they were on the witness stand too. But taking back to the point of whether or not the jurors that I could see necessarily agreeing with the defense, or maybe that it got to them, I'm not sure. I remember, I think it was Daniel Phillip who was testifying, or it might have been the Punisher who was testifying, where I did see one juror kind of nodding along to, and I believe the attorney who cross-examined both of those men was Xavier Donaldson, kind of nodding along to his line of cross-examination. But even as far as today goes, which we haven't gotten to the cross, it's still under the direct, so the prosecution's still asking those questions. Haven't seen much of a reaction.
So give me a second here. We haven't got to the violence, but apparently there is violence. Washington Post, Diddy remove. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Okay. Now, this is like a preview of it. And I think this came from opening statements. So we're going to get to it eventually. By the way, remember I told you they said Jane Doe was supposed to get direct. She was supposed to get direct was supposed to end today. This is too much. I don't think they can end today. I think they're going to continue into Monday and Tuesday. I think she's going to be on the stand probably longer than Cassie. So I think the whole next week is Jane Doe. I think it's Jane Doe, which obviously we know now is 50 Cent's baby mom. And look at this. So they're going to have to detail this incident. Says she ran to the bedroom, locked the door. He kicked it open. Prosecutor Emily Johnson told the jury, describing an alleged incident in which Jane Doe was enraged Combs by hitting and throwing things at him. She ran to the bathroom, locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to the closet and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to the guest bedroom, locked the door. He kicked it open. She tried to run out the front door, but he grabbed her in a chokehold, lifted her up off the ground by her neck, and kicked her to the ground. The government alleges that, like Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend and the trial star witness, Combs drugged Jane Doe and forced her to participate in freak-offs with male escorts, often video recorded the sex performances. She's a single mom who started spending time with Combs in 2020, according to prosecutors. At the beginning, they were not at all public, as Combs was seeing other women. Their sex life just involved the two of them, until Combs asked her to participate in a freak-off a few months into their relationship. Prosecutors alleged in open statements. To make her Combs happy, she agreed. They said that Combs took over her finances, as he allegedly did with Ventura, viciously attacked and blackmailed her with videos of her having sex with escorts. They also plan to play phone recordings that shows Combs trying to manipulate Jane into saying she wanted to have a freak-offs and making thinly veiled references to continuing to pay for Jane's home in exchange for her silence. So it looked like while Diddy was out on bail, Diddy was trying to do a little bit due diligence and hit up all the people he did freak-offs with to basically have them try to agree to it. To be like, hey, so by the way, it's probably like a recorded call. He's like, yo, by the way, so you wanted to do this freak-off, right? Remember we were doing freak-offs? You wanted to do this, right? So they claim that was Diddy trying to, get his story straight, or get people to, get a recording of somebody saying that they wanted to do it, right? Okay. Let's get back to the tweets. Comey says, did you ever see Cash during these hotel nights, and where? She says, yeah, I saw Cash in the drawers on the nightstand. Somebody says, AOC says, when Sean ran out of cash, what did he do? They say he made a phone call to his security assistants, KK. Cash would appear. How much? A good amount. To whom did Sean hand the cash? To Paul, to Don. He'd pay at the end. What would Sean say before he brought out his iPhone to record? Nothing. Or it's just for me. So I guess he would say, yo, this is just for me. AUSA says, did Sean sometimes act different? Jane says sometimes happy, sometimes he wasn't. Comey says, what directions would Sean give? To put the baby oil onto the man, to touch myself. When he knew the camera was on you, when you knew the camera was on you, how did you react? It was just part of it. Did Sean ever record you while not on drugs? She said, no. Did you act like you enjoyed it? Yes. Why? I wanted to put on a good show. What fantasy talk did you engage in? So much. Role play. Fantasy. I'm sorry, there are just too many memories. He would create characters. Oh. Now, let me ask you a question. Because for the people who say Diddy's just his kink is just watching live porn, why not just, you could have a porn company and watch other people. It's more than just watching people fuck. I mean, Cameron explained it yesterday, right? Like, that's a voyeur. Like, a voyeur likes to watch people have sex. You're a cuck if you want to watch your girl have sex, right? So it's definitely more than just voyeurism. It's cuckoldry, you know? Comey says, I'm going to show you some exhibits. It's not on the council screen. How is this? Jane says, or who is this? Jane says, that's me and Don. The next one is me and Sly. And so what about this? It's me and Paul, then me and Leo, then Anton and myself. That's 5 dudes. Was Sean present for all of those? Yes. Wow. Diddy was present for all of those joints. Wow, wow, wow.
Action from them, but they're really kind of hard to read sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, are they really interested? Sometimes I'm like, are they jotting notes down pertaining to testimony? Are they possibly writing their own grocery list down? Because when you're inside that courtroom for hours on end listening to this really graphic stuff, sometimes I'm wondering, like, are they really paying attention? But from what I can see and from what the judge has even kind of complimented on is it seems that everyone is paying attention to what's going on inside the courtroom.
Got one more question for you. This is from Jonathan Berry. Who is coming up after Jane, Elizabeth?
I do not know who's coming up after Jane. I'm very curious to see. I think a lot of us are possibly wanting to hear from somebody that we've been hearing a lot about, and that being KK or Christina Koram. But the government hasn't given any indication if she'll take the stand, and if she does take the stand, when that'll be. But I do think what the government is gearing up for is just their summary witness to eventually take the stand, and that person's going to really kind of wrap up everything together, probably show some demonstrative exhibits as far as just these different charts and how the escorts were flown out on certain days and all of that stuff. So I think for sure we're getting kind of possibly, maybe, depending on how you look at it, close to the end of the government's case, but I don't want to put words in their mouth just in case we see maybe 20 more witnesses down the line, and I don't want y'all to get mad at me when that happens.
No one will ever get mad at you. Don't you know that by now, Elizabeth? Elizabeth, thank you so much. Great reporting as always. Lot to break down here. We're going to take your questions. I'll allow Elizabeth to jump back into the courtroom. Okay, so let me bring in my...
We're back in here. So we got another tweet here. Jane says I would wear stripper shoes the entire freak off. Comey said, what would happen with the baby oil? Jane says it would drip down into the shoes, and I would try to keep my balance. Okay? You can't hear me? Wait, y'all can't hear me? All right. I'll go back to tweet. So they're showing some exhibits. It's not on the screen. It looks like there's still shots of videos. So look like Diddy was recording and they seized Diddy's phone. So they got these videos of the freak offs. And it's just pictures of Cassie and the guy. It looks like it's early into the freak off, because if you don't know how the freak off, like how it goes, is that initially the freak off would start where they're oiling each other up. And I guess they took screenshots of that. They're not showing it in the gallery because it's pornographic. They're naked, and they're showing it to Daphne Joy and saying, do you know who these two people are? And she's like, yes, that's me and Don. That's me and Sly. That's me and Paul. That's me and Leo. And then that's Anton and myself. And so was Diddy present? They say yes. She also said I wore stripper shoes the whole time. And so what would happen with the baby oil? Jane says it would drip down in the shoes. Okay, I would try to keep my balance. And said, did Sean ask you to get your nipples pierced? She said, yes. He said it would turn him on. So she's telling you the length she was going through to try to please this guy. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What's the name of that other lawyer that's outside? What's the name of that other lawyer? Starts like an A or something like that. What's her name? Damn, can't remember. Okay, whatever. I was trying to get her take on it. All right. So Jane Doe is crying. And, okay. Comey says, who set up your Pearson appointment? Jane says, KK. Yo, KK got to testify. She's getting tossed into too many things as being a liaison or something of the sort where she got to, It says, who set up your Pearson appointment? KK. Then it says, they got my lingerie and my nipples got infected. They got caught in my lingerie and my nipples got infected. I took them off. What did Sean say? He said, where are my piercings? This is the last time I want to see you without them. Oh, shit. So Diddy gets mad that, it's Simone.
I wanted to give you an afternoon update. I'm going to give you a moment real quickly for everyone to come on and join in. But this is an update on Jane Doe's testimony, okay? Jane Doe, she is on the stand now. This is an update on her testimony. And y'all, it's not looking good for the prosecution on this one.
Oh, word?
It's not looking good. Listen, I told you guys yesterday, I had some serious concerns about where the prosecution was going with this, and they haven't gotten there. We got major issues. Now, number one of the first issues is, where is KK? Where are D-Rock? The prosecution is going to really need to call someone like KK, the chief of staff, to bring this RICO organization together. Now, I testified previously, and I had said, let us know where you're joining from as you're watching. I stated previously, I was like, KK is expected to be on the stand next week. She is expected to be one of the last witnesses. But here's the thing, guys. They currently said Jane, who's on the stand now, that Jane is supposed to be there until up to like next Thursday, which doesn't leave room if they're actually still planning to call KK. And then as far as D-Rock, same thing. I said I wasn't too sure about D-Rock, but I did feel that they needed to have some form of security. It says so far, I think it froze for a second for me. But here's the other thing. Remember, I said they really need to have KK on that stand next week to really bring together the RICO enterprises. It looks like KK may not be coming. Here's why I say that. The other day, there was this huge debate over an exhibit. The judge has not yet made a formal ruling, but it's a text message string that's got Diddy on it, it's got D-Rock, and it's got KK. And it's where Diddy is, they're organizing to basically like fly in some S workers or something along those lines. It's basically talking about helping to prove up the RICO enterprise. The problem is there's a dispute on whether it can come in as evidence. Now, the prosecution is saying it should be allowed in as these people are co-conspirators. Here's the problem, Your Honor. I mean, here's the problem, audience. You guys are the jury. I'm used to being on it. The problem is that generally, if you're going to have the witness take the stand, the witness who's in that email string, in that text message string, can take the stand and authenticate it. But by the sounds of the argument for that motion, D-Rock ain't taking the stand, and neither is KK, which is why they're having trouble getting that text message string admitted into evidence. Hey guys, hit that subscribe as you come on in. Hit that subscribe. Also, let me know your questions in the chat, and I'm going to get to the summary of Jane Doe's morning testimony. If you're new here, I'm your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. I'm an attorney, and I break down celebrity cases on YouTube here at my channel, Girl Is That Legal. Now, remember, as you're listening to me, I have not, quote, picked a side. People are like, oh, you need to pick your side. No, you hit the wrong place, baby. That's not what I'm here for. I am telling you from a legal perspective, as an attorney who has done this type of work, right? Hey, Dennis, how are you doing? As an attorney, I'm telling you the holes, the strengths, the weaknesses, so that you guys can be the jury and you guys can make a determination on how. Hit that like button as you come.
All right, come on.
So weak that my concern is that it's going to water down even the stronger evidence that's there for Cassie. Now, here's why. One of the strongest pieces was this morning. There was audio that was played in the court, audio from one of their hotel nights. She calls them hotel nights. In Cassie's instance, they called it the free calls. And in the audio, you hear Jane basically saying that she wanted to use a condom. And Diddy is saying, "Oh, girl, you know you need to take that D. What you worried about a condom now?" was the gist. So, in other words, he's coercing her to be intimate with this male hooker without a condom. Yeah. Okay. That doesn't mean S trafficking, though. It says that doesn't mean, that doesn't mean S trafficking. S trafficking has to be using coercion or threats to force someone or to get someone to do something against their will. Here, honestly, what we've heard is that she really, really loves Diddy. I mean, this woman loves Diddy down. Do y'all know they were together up until the day?
Y'all say it's not love, it's just money. But it looked like you don't think Daphne loved Diddy at all? You think it's only for the money? Because here's my thing. Daphne, she's like, how many followers she got? Bro, she got, let's see. Bro, she got 1.6 million followers. She looks pretty good. Like, she could find like some rich guy to take care of her, bro. You don't think so? Let's say she needs 20,000 a month. She could find some rich guy to give her 20 bands a month, my dude. Like, what I'm thinking is that, no, she wanted to be with Diddy. Like, she wants to be the trophy wife of somebody important. She know who she just fuck with, which is 50. Yeah, I think there had to be, even if you think the love is not coming from a just honest place, there got to be some love there, you know? And also, this is another thing I say to y'all. Even a woman who's a gold digger, after a while, she catches feelings for the person. You ever see two people together and you're like, yo, damn, how do you bag her? Listen, maybe she entertained the motherfucker because it was just, oh, there's a financial incentive. But over time, unless you're a psychopath, you kind of like the person. I do think she did like him, right? Yeah, but because if it's only for money, look at this chick. Like, she could definitely find some crypto guy to give her 20 bands a month. If she's throwing neck like that, bro, she's getting fucked left, right, center. So, I can't believe, and again, we're still not hearing any, like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not hearing no life-changing money. Like, we're not hearing money like, for example, we're not hearing, oh, shit, Diddy gave her 300,000. Like, he's giving her 5 bands, 10 bands. Like, I'm going to keep it a bean with you. Like, to keep it 100, when I'm with a girl, that's what I give it. I'm like, all right, man, get out of my face, man. Go shop or some shit like that. You do it to your girl. That's not simping, by the way. That's just real nigga shit. But Diddy's not like giving her like, yo, here's 50 bands or here's 100,000. So I do think that part of why she likes him is because of who he is. He's Diddy. She wants to be with Diddy. Like to this day, I'm still trying to see like the big money that Diddy was giving these chicks. Like, granted, these chicks are broke as shit. So like 10, 15 bands is still a lot of money. But if it's only money, she could find some crypto nigga to give her that money, bro. You don't think so? Come on.
Day of his arrest, she was not leaving this man. And what it really sounds like, y'all,
Somebody said you paid for them to leave, not for the act.
is that
Somebody said save her. Hell no. I think her price probably went up. I ain't gonna lie, she better drop her OnlyFans now. After all the shit she done submitted to, she better drop her OnlyFans now.
Knew he had other girlfriends. She wanted to be the last woman standing. She continues to refer to him as my partner, my lover. She loved this man.
Yeah, she wanted him to love her. Again, of course, money's a thing. One of the things I love when people say it, when they see two people, or they'll say let's say Diddy, they'll be like, he probably think they with him because of anything but the money. Like when you're Diddy or whoever, it's baked in the cake that you are famous and rich. You know what I mean? Like it's only people who aren't famous and rich try to separate the person. Like part of their identity is that they're famous and rich. So, you know, people be like, yo, he wouldn't be getting her if he was broke. Well, he wouldn't be Diddy if he was broke. You know what I mean? So someone liking Diddy, yes, they probably do like his lifestyle and like the fact that he's famous as well.
And that her strategy was to be the last woman standing and that he would then settle down with her perhaps one day. Now, how do you get there? You got to make all of his nasty little fantasies come true. And that's what she was focused on doing. I'm not seeing a level of coercion that in any way would bring this over to the trafficking. Now, there's more days of testimony. We are just on the morning hour. So I'm just talking about what happened this morning. Hold on, let me read this. It says, hey, everyone. Yeah. And here's the other thing, y'all. Now, y'all were mad at me. I was live. I was really frustrated yesterday because, number one, I felt like the prosecution ended at a poor point. That you need to end on a strong point so that when the jury goes home and thinks about what they heard that day, they're like, oh, yeah, maybe we see something here. And instead, I felt like it was almost an insult to the jury to have this woman take the stand and say that
she loves him so
basically
much.
She didn't want to work and that her sole sources of income were child support and an allowance of $10,000 a month from Diddy, and that made her feel coerced into doing what Diddy wanted. When you got these hardworking people on the jury, we got a masseuse, we've got a deli worker, we've got a warehouse worker on.
Chat, I keep telling you how the price of pussy is cheap as shit nowadays. Let's do the math on that. $10,000 a month. The niggas having you freak off every pretty much 3-day long freak off. Like literally, remember she said freak offs felt like work. So let's do 10,000. I'm doing the math on the calculator over here. Actually, I put the calculator here and y'all can see it. 10,000 divided by 30. So she was getting paid $333 a day to do freak offs, bro. This is bad. This is bad work, chat. This is bad work. This is bad work. That's I keep telling you. Listen, if somebody told you a woman this beautiful for a nice installment, for a nice layaway plan of $333 a day, you can get her to fuck 10 niggas a day, suck you off to infinity and beyond, give you massages, cook for you, everything. I'm sorry. I don't even think it's tricking at that point. What the fuck? She was doing this for 10 bands a month. Chat, this is crazy. By the way, I wonder if she was doing chat, I'm wondering if she was she probably did the female finesse. Listen to this, chat. This is what I think. Right? This is what I think. Because it doesn't make sense if she's paying $10,000 for her home, she only gets 10 from Diddy. Here's the thing though, chat. And this is my thought. I thought about it. I think I don't know if it's pronounced or like it was announced. I think 50 was paying for the home. I don't know exactly what his child support situation was, but I think 50 was paying for the home because the kid lives with the mom. And a lot of times in child support, agreements is that you got to pay for the place that the kid's gonna be living in when you making all that money that 50 is. Sometimes you got to pay for the driver, you got to pay for that. So I think 50 was paying for the place. However, when she's trying to negotiate an allowance, right, with Diddy, the best way for her to leverage and ask for more money is to say, Sean, I need this amount of money. This is my bills. This is my rent. She's not paying that shit, bro. 50 paying that. But she gets to say, I need 10 bands because my rent 10 bands. Right? Now, it probably got into rocky times because remember, she moved out to LA. And I don't know when 50 found out that she was fucking with Diddy, but she moved out to LA to be closer to Diddy. But I think 50 was paying for the house, but when she was trying to get money from Diddy, she would tell Diddy, I got bills, my nigga. I need 10 bands. I really need 20. Remember, she wanted 20. And he said, I ain't doing 20. She said, give me 15. I ain't doing, I'll give you 10. She said, give me the 10. I think 50 was paying for that shit. Think about it. Her rent alone is 10 bands. She wouldn't be able to pay nothing else. No car, no nothing. But I think her basic necessities, including rent, were taken care of by 50. The money Diddy was giving her, straight spending money. But even then, let's go down. That money for 30 days, $10,000 a month, comes out to a measly $333. She was getting freaked off, man. For $333 a day. Chat. I know y'all hard on thoughts and y'all don't pay for pussy and y'all don't trick and simp and all that shit. But for a small installment fee of $333 a day, would you pay for this chick to fuck on command anybody you want? Well, obviously you wouldn't have her fuck other people, but fuck on demand. It's $333 a day. And clearly she needed it or liked that amount of money so much because Diddy would constantly threaten taking it away. All right, you want to freak off today? All right, I'm about to stop giving you that 10 bands. I'm about to stop giving you that motherfucking 10 bands, right? Holy.
On the jury who don't make that in a whole month. And she's complaining about that. Now, there was also strong evidence that was supported. She reinforced the evidence of transportation for prostitution. They had her run down a list of the male hookers that she was intimate with. And she established.
I put like, oh, you can't really see it. I put motherfucking Tito's and lemonade in here. And this is how this case is fucking me up. We've been hearing about so much bodily fluids. I looked at this and I'm like, this shit look like piss. This shit look like one of them freak off piss bottles. Like, ew. But it's actually lemonade. I'm telling you, bro.
Established that they lived in one city or would come to another. Basically, all they had to show is that transportation occurred, dealing with, two different states. But at this point, it's like, girl, get a job. Why won't you just get a job if this is such a big deal?
Attorney Simone, let me say this to you. I know a few women. I'll even mention a situation. I don't want to dox the person or just expose who it is. There was I was with a woman. And here's the thing. When she found out how much I was making, it was impossible to even mention anything any word that started with a J and ends with a B. Trust. At one point, I said to her, listen, I pay for everything anyway. But at this time, listen, an idle woman a woman with all the time, like, women got to have it. Yo, fellas, you know this. Your woman got to have a job. Otherwise, you become her job. She was all up in my business. I couldn't cheat in peace. I couldn't do nothing. Bitch was, and it's, listen, this is years ago, okay? Over 5 years. So whoever y'all thinking about now. So I'm telling her, I'm like, listen, how about you get a job? Because you be dumb bored. I got to work anyway because I'm working, right? I said, how about you get a job? Whatever you get at the job, you know, you can buy whatever you want with it. Like, I pay for everything anyway. We got into a huge fight over it because at first, I think I was trying to get her a job at a bank. You know what I mean? She basically told me, she says the only job she would do, she said, I want a job that is like cool like your job. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, basically she was telling me, nigga, I ain't getting a motherfucking job. I don't want to work. I'm good. I don't want nothing that I got to actually work. If I'm not feeling like I'm having fun and it's not work, I don't want to do it. So lo and behold, she never got a job. So again, I know Simone is a lawyer. So she's like, what? Women think? Nah, I know mad women who think like this. They're allergic to anything that starts with a J and end with a B. That's a fact. I'm telling you. That is once you date a guy, and I'm not saying all women, because I know some women, like, I ain't going to cap with you. Remember I told you, shorty, you see, now I'm like free and single. I could like speak about stories. Because before I'd be like, I ain't gonna say shit. Remember I told you, I was dealing with a girl and her man called me? Remember? And like, I think I blasted him, but I was like, yo, bro, could you stop calling me about you? He was like, he would call me like, yo, my girl at your house, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, she was from the chat actually at low key. Like, I swear. So I was dating this, not dating, well, I wasn't dating, but I was dealing with this girl. She low-key watched the stream. She from the chat. And this whole time, and I remember like trying to tell her to quit because we were dealing with each other for like a few months. She worked at T-Mobile. And the whole time I'm like, wait, you're leaving my house to go to fucking T-Mobile? She was. You get what I'm saying? And she still works there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was trying to get her to quit, but the only thing I'm like, yo, if I get her to quit her job, I gotta be locked in with her. Cause like ain't no like somebody quit their job is gonna be like, nigga, you told me to quit, nigga. Now you over here trying to like, but anyway. There are some women who, and by the way, even then, while she was dealing with me for like a couple months, she still kept going to work. Hey, I gotta go to work. And I'm like, bruv, how much are they paying you at T-Mobile? Like $3 an hour? I don't know what the fuck you get paid. But she was a hard worker, and I respect her a lot, by the way. She was always going to work, and I respect that. You know what I mean? It wasn't about how much she got paid. It was about the mentality of not because I'm fucking with a rich dude means I don't work. She's a chick who always worked. But there are many women, when they fuck with, and especially if they're all like Daphne, yeah. Yo, she's allergic to a job, nigga. The fuck? She ain't gonna work. So I could see why Simone doesn't understand that, but I know some chicks who they're allergic to working. Trust.
Specifically, y'all. So on cross, the defense is going to be able to get in and ask her, well, how much are you getting for child support? Like I said, I told y'all last night, I think she was getting between $7,000 and $12,000 a month for child support. She sure is. She is getting something around that $7,000 mark for child support. There's so many people on this jury who don't get anything near that and may not even make that per month. So in other words, she could have lived just fine on that child support, but didn't want to work. That doesn't bring it to coercion. It says, somebody said McDonald's can't pay for her lifestyle. That's true. But here's the thing. Here's some facts, okay? I'm going to give you facts to bite on. I'm not going to call anybody no names today. We're going to deal with facts, and I want to hear
Yeah, and that's true, too. I've also realized, I won't say about every woman, but a woman who is usually allergic to a job, they start selling pussy in one way or another. That's true, too. I'll be honest with you. Like, some way or another, they realize their job and their hustle is between their legs. 100%. I agree with you on that one. 100%.
in the chat below your thoughts of these facts.
Yeah, every time I've met a chat queen, it's always a hard work. I've never had a bad experience being a chat queen. They're always hard working. I got a wife of a girl from chat. That's a fact. I got a wife of a girl from chat.
Here they are. I need you to know this timeline. She starts dating Diddy basically January of 21. They have a normal relationship, like February. She first meets him. Her birthday's in February. February, they have like the time of their lives. January, February, something around that time. And it wasn't until May of 21 that she has her first freak off hotel night. After that, the rest of the time, every other time with Diddy, she has a freak off. Now it's clear. Diddy apparently can't seem to calm. He can't seem to, calm without this freak off experience, which is its own level of weird. But factually.
No, it's not. Chad, I'm going to be honest with you. You get to a certain, I think Diddy, well, first of all, I think he's gay. So I do think he's attracted to men, and he's always suppressed it. But I do think Diddy and some of these other people y'all are hearing, they're super freaked out. Like, when I mean super freaked out, they're so overexposed to sex, it's like a drug at that point. Like the dopamine fix from just even a regular sex experience doesn't do it anymore. Like these guys have had all these experience, probably have had sex with multiple women, multiple nights for the majority of especially somebody like Diddy for decades. I think he got to the point where regular sex didn't really do it for him. And he was trying to bridge the gap between, he liked ding-a-ling. He liked ding-a-ling. That's what he liked, ding-a-ling. But I do know, honestly, a lot of entertainers and people in this entertainment life where they kind of say the same shit, where regular sex is boring to them because they've had so much of it. So you then see them do these different alternative type of things. I hate to bring other people in it, but and maybe this is just a marriage issue rather than just super freaked out issue, so you need to do some other weird stuff. But T.I. and Tiny, go down that rabbit hole and look at the sexual stuff that they were into, and some of the people who spoke out. They would say that's how T.I. was able to get his rocks off. Who knows? Maybe that's just oh, you with Tiny for so long, it doesn't do it for you no more. But and with all due respect, I'm trying to like handle this with kid gloves too. Pause. But so you got to bring other people in. That's how he gets his rocks off. I don't know, but I've seen certain people where they gotta. You start seeing it get a little weirder and weirder, because I do believe the more freaked out you get, where like you're constantly you fucking all these beautiful women time and time and time again, and you get essentially whatever you want, whenever you want, at a certain point, you start to then, because, you know, it's a dopamine fix. You start to seek new thrills. And it might start with, okay, threesomes. Then it might start with, okay, me and my homie, we just piping 2 girls down, same room. Then it might start with, yo, we just, everybody fucking and everybody rotating. Then it might go to, yo, we like just fucking outside, or I like to just watch. Like, I don't know necessarily. One thing for sure, 2 things for certain, Diddy's gay to me. But I'm wondering, like, I have heard entertainers say they're into certain shit, and I'm like, what? Like, what's up with that? And it feels like the root of those issues essentially came from them just having too much sex, and like regular sex was no longer appealing to them. I don't know. Maybe I'm on to something. Maybe I'm not.
I want you got to know this timeline for the.
I mean, some of y'all should know. Like, chat, especially if you're in a relationship. Say you're in a relationship. And by the way, I usually say, and I still stick to this, you're not in a real relationship unless you live with your partner. Okay? Y'all just playing around. Okay? If you got to live with your partner to really be in a real relationship. But when you are in a real relationship, and you live with your partner, and y'all probably have a healthy sex life. Y'all probably have sex maybe every day or every other day. That pussy do hit a little bit different if you go like 6 days. Like, right, if you one of them niggas who don't run red lights, and let's say she's on her period, and you don't fuck her for like 6-7 days, and you fuck her the day after. And I'm only bringing this up. I'm not trying to TMI y'all up to death, but if you, it feels better when you haven't had it either. I think Diddy was just constantly a sex addict and trying, like he wouldn't abstain, so he's trying to do these other weird, freaky shit to keep getting that high, and also he's balancing this thing because he's a closeted homosexual individual. I don't know, like I'm kind of throwing shit at the wall. I don't know if it's sticking. Pause. Y'all let me know.
The coercion. So in effect, she begins in May of 21 doing these freak offs. Diddy doesn't even give her a consistent allowance until until 23. It was in 23 that he agreed to sign her lease, pay her lease of the $10K a month. So for 2 years, you were doing these freak offs without any allowance. Yes, he was throwing her money here and there. But what she said on the stand, which I said, okay, I got to tell the jury. You guys are the jury. I got to tell that. This is what she said that I said, oh, I don't think this is going to go over well with the jury. Hold on. She said
I'm ghetto,
the
Chad.
reason she continued to do the freak offs was, quote, I can run him. All right. The reason she decided to continue, y'all hear this. She said, she writes to him telling him, I don't want to do these anymore. She says, I don't want to feel obligated to have these nights out of fear of losing the roof over my head. You guys. Somebody said, you sound crazy. Who sounds crazy? Me? She says, quote, I don't want to feel obligated to have these nights out of the fear of losing the roof over my head. Well, ma'am, there's a solution to this, honey. You got to get a job. You got to get a job. Somebody said, girl, stop. Yes. What about the trafficking? That was proven in testimony. We're going to talk about that trafficking too. I'm going to get to that too. But right now, tell me, if this is the theory, She continued to say she felt like the only reason Diddy had her around and paid for her house was because he wanted her to participate in those freak offs. Here's the thing, that's not a crime. That very likely might be, sweetie pie, that might be why he had you around. But that's not a crime. And it doesn't go to coercion. And I think what it does is it creates more problems than good, in that now you're creating gray area. Because you probably already have a person or two or so forth on the jury who wasn't sure that they felt that Cassie fit the definition of as trafficking.
I know you guys have your favorites or your least favorites when I'm playing these videos, but it's good for perspective, right? Let's go back to the tweets. It's been about 30 minutes. We should have some more tweets. Comey said, did your back ever hurt? Okay. She says, yes, from bending over so much. What? She developed a back issue from bending over so much in the freak offs? Yo, I've never seen a freak off injury, bro. Chat, y'all got it this time. Y'all got it. This is the first person to be listed on the injury report from the freak off. Back issues. How did it happen? Bending over too much in the freak off. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. My neck, my back, my neck and my back. Pause. Damn. Where else did you get sore? My vagina. Did you ever tell Sean? Nah, why not? I just didn't want to indicate any negativity. Why'd you keep going? I ain't sure why I kept going. Sidebar. 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 Yo, chat. The freak off scoliosis is crazy. The freak off scoliosis is crazy. If you need a chiropractor after you done did the freak offs, this is ridiculous. Diddy, what type of... This nigga was turning this shit into some Daredevil type of event. How the hell did freak off turn into an extreme sport? She had to fuck 10... Well, you know... Diddy... By the way... Diddy used to do this with one guy, and then he started escalating to 2 and then 3. He took a while for Cassie. Did y'all follow that story? Y'all followed it? It took a while for him to escalate. He started out pretty early. So first of all, he asked Cassie for a freak off a year into it. He asked He asked Daphne 3 months or a couple months into it. So you could tell Diddy was like, this nigga, he was like Super Saiyan 5, the one with the tail. You feel what I'm saying? Pause. He was just advanced, so he was just trying to be like, yo, let's get this freak off going on now. Okay? So he probably already had like a play. Which, by the way, it's now, if he was doing freak offs with Diddy's baby mom, not Diddy, I mean 50's baby mom, yo, Carisha, we need you to come to the congregation needs you to come to the front of the church. You were doing freak offs still. I ain't gonna lie to you. There was something within my spirit that told me, nah, only Cassie were getting the freak offs. Because, like, to trust somebody with your secret like that, like, hey, that you like to play around with semen. Remember, did y'all hear this? Diddy didn't want a condom on because he wanted the male worker to ejaculate on her skin. And they would go in another room and he would play with the cum. Maybe he was writing his name in the cum. It's like, ooh, look at this. He's like a little kid. Like, he's trying to color between the semen lines. Like, this guy's, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. So they get a sidebar. They come back. He said, do you have an estimate of how many times you told Sean you ain't want to keep doing these? He said, I don't have an estimate. He said, did you ever write and tell him? Yes, and sometimes I'd have the courage to text it to him. Says, what did you see in your message? Jane says that I've been texting since 2021 how I felt. What's this? It's an exhibit. It says, November 2021. I felt jealous. I saw he was doing things with another woman on their story. When did he date Young Miami, chat? When did he date Young Miami? Yo, stop telling me pause and talking about act what the fuck. I'm not the nigga that's telling a bitch to go in the next room to play with semen. Did y'all not watch this shit? She said Diddy liked to play with the semen. Did I say that? I didn't say that. Y'all over here saying, Act, what's up with you, man? It ain't what's up with me, it's what's up with Diddy. What's wrong with y'all niggas? God damn. Man, y'all over here, y'all tweaking on me, man. Hold on. God damn. Y'all over here acting like I'm making this shit up. Like I just lied on that nigga or something like that. No. Okay. Let me look at donations real quick. They've been on my head top. They said, Act, read your fucking donations, nigga. Okay, I got y'all. Here we go. I'm reading donations. I'm reading donations from the King Academics channel. Then I'll go to the Academy. By the way, thank you for all the new gifted subs on Kick. I see y'all. By the way, thank you for running that poll. I don't know who ran it. But on the King Academics page, it says, did Diddy get with 50 BM to spite him? 85%. We almost had 45,000 or 4,500 votes. 85% of people think, yeah, Diddy did get with 50 BM to spite him. Interesting. Okay, let me read all these donations real quick. Jay Cardi, thank you for the 5. It says, watch Unc go off on Tisa Tells on yesterday's video. Man, leave Unc alone, man. Leave Unc alone. All right, cool. Let's get back to some tweets. Y'all can hear me? I'm not muted, right? Perfect. Do you have an estimate of how many times you told Diddy you ain't want to do these hotel nights? I don't have an estimate. Well, did you write? Well, I had the courage. Yes, I wrote, but I didn't have the courage to text it to him only but so many times. So what did you see in your text messages that I've been texting since 2021? How I felt. What's this? In November 2021, I felt jealous. I saw him doing other things with other women or with another woman. That probably is Young Miami, right? He was fucking with Young Miami in 2021? Yeah, I think it's 2021 he started fucking with Young Miami on their IG stories. Why did you feel jealous if you knew he was dating other women? I came to do hotel nights with Don and Sly. Then he gives quality time to another woman. Ooh, see? Basically, she's saying, I did these things. I fulfilled your biggest and freakiest fantasy. I let another man put his dick inside of me. Pause. And you don't even reward the fact that I'm down to do that by saying, let's spend time together. All you do is you go spend your quality time with another woman. What about this next text? It said, I wrote, I need a breather and a break from you. Comey says, play this exhibit. It's a voice note. Combs says, she asked me to work out. This is the time you gonna be cursed. This is the time you gonna be cursing at me. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. Don't matter if I just fucked her. Be sad. Go crazy. I don't deserve being honest with someone. What? So this is a voice note from Diddy. She asked me to work out. This is the time you gonna curse at me? I don't got a bunch of guy friends. Don't matter if I just fucked her. Damn. Be sad, go crazy. I don't deserve. I guess he's saying, he's hitting her with the ultimate gaslight. I told you from the get-go I was going to be honest with you. Now I'm being honest with you and you're still mad. What was the point of me being honest with you? Okay? One of those, George, right? Comey said, how often did Sean call you crazy? Jane says often. Made me feel confused. What did you say? That she didn't just come to the gym. I don't even care who you're laying up with. I wanted that time with you. Oh, so it looked like Diddy invited 2 girls to the gym. Invited her and another girl. You just want the hotel shit. So I guess she says, you don't want no time with me. You've been lying. You've been manipulating me. You just want the hotel nights where I fuck other men. You don't really want me. Comey says, what happened here? He says, I had sex with Leo. I was high. It made my partner happy. I was okay with it. AUSA says, how many phones did Sean use then? Jane says 2. Sean started dating another woman. He did a big birthday for her. How did you see it? IG. That's Young Miami. Facts. That's Young Miami. What did you say? I see what you're doing for her. why do you play me and say she's a business partner? That's Young Miami, chat. That's Young Miami. That's Young Miami. Because I guess Diddy was lying to them and be like, nah, like, yo, you know I gave her own show on Revolt. She promoting De Leon. That's not my girl. We business partners. That's Shorty Wop, right? He says, I see what you're doing for her. Why you playing me? Say that she's just a business partner, right? Then you say she's spending money on you. So I guess Diddy was saying, wait, you think she my bitch? No, she want to be my bitch. I don't spend money on you like I don't spend money on her like I spend money on you. She spend money on me. You know she rich and famous too, right? How would you feel if I said a man, then so she's a business, then you say she's spending money on you? How would you feel if I said a man was spending money on me? AUSA says you wrote, I feel cheap. I feel cheap. Damn. Comey then says, after your first hotel night in May 2021 with Don, what did you do next? I was on a yacht. And later, we would sleep after the hotel nights. What did you write in this note? I wrote, why am I only for your freaky desires? Comey then says, did you send this to Sean? Jane says, no, I ain't had the courage to send this one to Sean. And this note, she said, I wrote, you were partying with another girl. You just want me for debauchery. Remember, debauchery is the same thing as hotel nights. I'm done being used by you. You're trashing my house with your dirty debauchery. I'm done. And what was this? Jane says, right after I spent my birthday having sex with these men in the hotel, Sean went on vacation with another girl he was dating. How did you respond to your text? He wrote, I didn't tell her about your birthday. Huh? Comey said, what did he write to you next? That it looked like I had a nice birthday dinner with my girlfriends. Who paid for the dinner? Jane says Sean. Was he there? No. So Diddy's just using his money to get what he wants. It's clear. And here, when you say you were tired, Jane says, yeah, I said that after I fucked 3 men. Pause. AUSA says, and what did he write to you here? Jane says he wrote, I'm tired of you throwing sex in my face. Let's just be friends. What do you think he meant? Jane says anytime I brought up the hotel nights, Diddy was getting defensive saying, yo, you're trying to use my kinks against me in any argument we got. So if they're arguing over the why you don't put the toilet seat down, right? Or why you don't lift the toilet, whatever it is, Jane would bring up, yeah, I don't like doing these hotel nights. And Diddy would get mad by saying, yo, why you keep throwing this in my face? Like, why you keep bringing up this one thing? It don't got nothing to do with our arguments right now. What did you write here? Jane says, I wrote, are you really breaking up with me? She starts crying. She says, you're the only man in my life. You took someone else to the place I dreamt about. They said, where was that? She says, Turks. The AUSA says, what did he write? Jane says, he wrote, I'm tired of these long texts telling me what I'm doing wrong. I wrote, what am I doing wrong? They take a break. Holy shit. It's getting critical, y'all. It's a Friday. Daphne still don't got no job. And she's on the stand. I'm wondering how long they're going to go today. I'm wondering how long they're going to go today. According to Google, Young Miami and Diddy started dating in 2021. They confirmed that they were a thing in 2022, though. Very interesting. Young Miami's in the mix here. Wow. Let me ask y'all a question, chat. So there's a world where people say Diddy's getting charged mostly for his kinks and his kinkiness. What do y'all say to that? Do you believe he's being charged or prosecuted because he was being a player? He wanted multiple women at the same time. He was running game. He was telling her this, telling her that. Now I'm gonna have a baby with you later. Now you like fuck these other hoes. You're my bitch. He goes over here. Nah, yo, I'm locked in with you. Then when they ask about the other girl, so but I see you online with that girl. Like what's going on? No, that's my business partner. She's helped me sell De Leon. I don't want that bitch. You my bitch. Some people believe that he's being charged for running game on these chicks. And they're all now salty because he ain't keep up with none of them. Not one. Remember, I told you, a baby solves all issues. The baby that Dana Tran had, that's baby love. She's in court every day supporting Diddy. Every day. Let me ask you a question. If Diddy had free calls with all these other women, let me ask you a reasonable question, Chad. You don't think Diddy had free calls with the woman who just had his kid? Think about that one. But is she sitting up there saying she a victim? No. If anything, she's showing up to court every day to support him. Why? Her child's future is going to hinge on whether Diddy comes home or not. And she probably has a lot of love for Diddy. Diddy is probably taking care of her. She's Diddy's family. Like, right? Okay. We're taking a break. The jury's out. The counsel to Jane Doe says, I want to bring to the court's opinion that there are YouTube accounts that are actively trying to find out Jane's identity. Where we find contact information, we reach out. We're recording live streams, okay? So Gina has now, her lawyer addressed the court. Here's the thing. Somebody responded and said, we all know who it is already. 50 Cent confirmed it. That's a fact. That's a fact. Remember what she wrote about 50? She said everything is a joke to you until our safety is compromised, which is happening now. You're wreaking havoc, real havoc and frenzy and chaos on the people's lives. How would you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs? For nothing. This post will be brought up by the defense attorneys. How do you feel if Sire was the one in handcuffs for nothing? How do you write that? And then testify against the same guy that you seemingly was defending when you said, in handcuffs for nothing. We moved to New York to give you an opportunity to be a father to your son. You saw him 10 times out of 2 years, and we lived a mile away from you. I'm tired of upholding and protecting an image to our son that you never, ever earned. Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of R-wording me, physically abusing me. You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. By the way, I expect 50 to stop trolling with her. 50, she has accused you of sexual assault. Do not troll her in this moment right now. She's getting up there on the stand and she's crying every day. Let me tell you this. She's in federal court. There's going to be some detective who asks her, should we investigate 50 Cent? You down to testify against him? You don't want to be in this shit. 50, stop trolling her. Stop trolling her. I keep telling everybody, a woman is only as loyal to her emotions. She'll get so upset she might burn the house down, knowing she don't got nowhere to live after. Because why? Her feelings told her it was a thing to do at the time. And I'm being a little bit hyperbolic when I say that. But the point is, a woman who's in their feelings, like Daphne seems to be now recounting all this shit with Diddy, I think 50 should fall back. Remember, At that point, she accused him of R word and said, "You physically abused me. You're no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on. You have permanently damaged the last hope I had for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." This is going to be interesting because it looks like this is around the time that 50 found out about the freak-offs with her. Let's look. 50 Cent, Daphne Joy. Okay, here we go. Remember, he had sued her. He dropped it, though. Now, her post came after I think she was calling him. Well, no, 50 was calling Diddy, and really specifically Daphne. She called Daphne a little sex worker. Okay. Back in the game, people. The judge says, "Do you have evidence if these people are in the courtroom or in the overflow room?" Jane says, so the lawyer for Jane Doe says, "If we had found that, we'd have asked for them to be banned." So this is for all the people who think academics could get in trouble. I ain't at court. Now, here's the thing. I might do enough fuckery that when I do want to show up to court, because I do plan to show up, okay? Big Act want to show up to that courtroom. They might say, "Hey, this person has mentioned the names of all of our secret witnesses." Okay. And probably deny me access. But if you're not in that courtroom, you're not bound by any laws. You have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech. You don't have to do what they want you to do, okay? Jane's counsel says if someone published her license, it would violate your order. Somebody says, "Send me what you can. I'll consider it even over the break." By the way, they also said, the judge says, "Make an ex parte filing, and I'll ask the marshals to investigate." So the U.S. Marshals will be investigating if anybody in that courtroom has mentioned 50 Cent, has mentioned 50 Cent's baby mom, and that could be an issue, okay?
And then now you got this person who's going to be comparing what Cassie went through with what this girl is talking about. Right now, he's not put his hands on her. He's not done anything other than encourage her. There were even one night on her birthday where he had her be with 3 separate men. And I don't want to say had because he did not force her. She said she did these things to please her partner. I don't understand why she goes back if she hated it. After they broke up, she saw the Cassie video and stayed. Make it make sense. She did. Now, mind you, the Cassie video, though, did not come out until it was like April or May. I think it was May of 24. She had been with this guy since 21 and was with him until the day he was arrested in September of 14. I just don't want to feel obligated to have these nights out of fear of losing the roof over my head. Ma'am, there's a solution for that. It's called a job. Yes, she was in love. Absolutely. Now, even if the fear, and I do believe she had a legitimate fear of losing her rent if she was not doing it, but it was because that was her boyfriend. That doesn't give rise, and it certainly doesn't give rise to a RICO related event with the facts that we're seeing right now. It says, but the S trafficking aside, the testimony about the drugs, KK and the prostitution, yes, that's true. So let's talk about the drugs, the drug testimony. Because I thought, okay, they're probably putting her on the stand. We already know she was very helpful in laying out evidence to confirm the prostitution. Here's the challenge with her drug distribution evidence. And, I've said from the beginning, I felt like drug distribution was one of the things that they had good evidence of already, just by Cassie's testimony, the prior staff's testimony. The problem here is she said a key word that is problematic to the drug distribution with respect to a RICO. She said she had a rule, no drugs. In other words, hold on. It's New York City. We got noise, y'all. We got noise. Hold on. Sorry about that. So here's the problem. She said regarding the drug distribution, she had a rule that was no drugs, meaning the S workers that were there to service her and participate with her could not take drugs. you guys, this creates a strong counter argument for the defense that says, well, then these drugs were for personal use, because that meant the only people using them were you and Diddy, not the S workers. Do you follow me? You follow where that creates a hole? Yes, the prosecution can still say, yep, we have her testifying to the various drugs. She even testified to picking up a package for Diddy and bringing it to him in Miami that had a bunch of substances in it. So there's no doubt that she absolutely has provided additional drug distribution evidence. But the challenge is going to be, yeah, there you go. But the challenge is going to be when the defense is then saying, well, hold on, but that was just for you and Diddy. And wasn't it just the two of you that would use those at your hotel nights? He wasn't distributing them to the prostitutes and things like that. So there's counter arguments on both sides. But I think overall, the challenge is going to be the coercion. We're going to need to see more evidence. Now, there's more time. She's supposed to be on the stand for all of today, all the way till 5 o'clock. We're going late today. And she's going to be on the stand on Monday. But for right now, with what they have right now, they're kind of losing the jury. Because it's almost like we'll get to the part where it's gotten physical and things like that. Also, a lot of the physical, some people are saying, well, in opening, they talked about physical things. That's true. But from what I've reread, a lot of that physical stuff was actually going to be with respect to Gina, which respect to victim 3. So there may be physical stuff with her too. All I'm saying is that they haven't gotten to it yet. She is not the last witness for the prosecution. No. That's an excellent question. It's not, people don't understand. That's how attorneys provide legal analysis, literally. I don't see coercion from her. She's a 30-something woman with a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, 19-year-old. I don't know what you're talking about there. Imagine that the government wanted Cassie to testify after Jane. That actually might have been stronger, honestly, if Cassie could come after Jane. But I see why they led with Cassie, because Cassie's videotape really set the scene for the other things. And something else that came to my mind as I was looking at the prosecution and how it's all those ladies. I've talked with some friends that I have that are U.S. attorneys, across the nation. And here's the thing. I think I know now why there's not a man on that legal team. Because if this is kind of the height of the evidence that they got for the S trafficking with respect to Jane, it's not going to fly. It is very unusual to have an entire legal team of 6 people in federal court, and not one man is on that. That's suspicious. In the words of Cardi B, that's suspicious. And I wouldn't be surprised. Gina already testified. No, guys. No, Gina hasn't testified. I wouldn't be surprised if there were men who were considering, work, and they were like, hey, do you want to join the team? And they looked over the facts. They were like, no, thank you. I don't want to touch it. I've heard multiple guys who were like, I don't want to touch it. It says she was getting the bag from Old Boy and was traveling around the world making content. That's my boo. Hello. Look who we got. Looking like $1 million as always.
Is that Shorty low reincarnated? What the fuck?
Okay, it's okay, but overall.
She told the story and conveyed it in a way that was truly emotional. The jury kind of perked up.
Okay. Do you feel like you're starting to see coercion?
I feel like I saw coercion day one.
Oh, okay. What was the coercion for you?
It was having to get her high in order to even broach the topic of having a hotel room.
Okay.
Did you see that in there?
I see that. I think the problem is she was saying she was doing this because she felt obligated to keep a roof over her head. Mm-hmm. That's the argument that I think these jurors are going to have to struggle with. Because she's getting around $7,000 a month in child support, even without anything that we do. That hasn't come out in court yet, but will. Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Bye, guys. All right. Yeah, somebody said, yeah, it's both. Wow. Said that's less than what some people receive in Social Security a year. What, the 17? Yeah, even the 7,000. It looks like a podcast. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So she's getting around $7,000 for child support. And then separately from Diddy, she was getting an allowance of $10,000. She was getting that all the way down. So, okay, so some people are saying that they feel like him giving her drugs to make her then agree and consent to the FOs, you feel like is going down that route of coercion. I don't think she will do emotionally well on Cross. Cross is gonna be hard. I think Cross is gonna be difficult for her because it's gonna be very emotional. They're gonna pull out, difficult facts in her life. And let's just be honest, I feel terrible for the girl in that her life is forever changed. She's more than likely gonna lose custody because her, baby dad is probably gonna go to the courts and say she can't pick a good man, she can't raise a good man. And then on Cross, listen, I think...
No, that's a valid point. So it's not even about picking a good man. She's now testified under oath that she's been addicted or she's taken all these drugs. In family court, when you're arguing for custody, it is very important. That person's a drug abuser. That person's a drug addict. They take illicit, illegal drugs. They shouldn't be around our child when they're high off ketamine. So that's important. 50 has a case here.
On Cross, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the first things they do on Cross is, so periodically she's been crying. I don't think they're fake tears. They are real tears. Because this is the most traumatic thing she's probably ever going to experience. But on Cross, I could definitely see that. So, wait, on direct, the prosecution has told her, like, various times, like, hey, do you need a moment or can you keep going? And she's like, it's fine. I can keep going. Gotcha. Shoot. If I was the defense on Cross, I'd start off by saying, all right, now are you okay with continuing to go? Are you okay with that? And if she's gonna say yeah, they're like, well, I want to just say, because previously you said that, with Diddy, you tell him you were okay with things, and then later you say that you regret it and you weren't okay. And I just want to make sure that here, with this testimony you're about to give, that if I start asking you questions and then you say you're okay to move forward, I don't want you later to be like, well, they pressured me into giving these answers. You see what I'm saying? Because throughout it, she's never, I won't say never, she communicates regret after the fact. And he's had her do some low, down, dirty things. And he is using substances to have her engage in these. In fact, she told an example of how they tried to have a sobriety night. Twice she tried to do it sober. And it was just such a disgusting experience. The first time she actually puked because she said she needed the substances to get her mind in a place where she felt like she could do it. So, I also think the defense is going to probably delve into whether or not she's here to create a narrative for her child custody case, given that she's articulated child support is her sole source of income. Because you have to remember, with the jury, you start with leaning towards reasonable doubt. And the more relatable a witness is, the more credible the witness feels. So if the jurors have difficulty relating to someone who says, in effect, these are threesomes, right? In effect, I had drug-fueled threesomes with my boyfriend because he was willing to pay my bills. They may not see that in the same way they would see what happened with Cassie, that he was holding a record deal over her head, and etc. However, what I am anticipating and what I'm looking for is perhaps we're going to hear some testimony of blackmail, of him using the tapes from these freak-offs and threatening to release them to her baby daddy or anyone else that could potentially impact her custody. The only thing about that is she continued to be his girlfriend. She continued to be his girlfriend all the way to the end. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. So I'm going to head on back up to the courtroom. Drop your questions below. I'm going to do another recap after court today. Bye, guys. Hit that subscribe, hit that like.
Okay. Back with the tweets, I would imagine, right? Back with the tweets, I would imagine. What the fuck? Okay. So they're going to be looking at if anybody published her license. Okay. Look like they're still in break. Are they still in break? Give me 1 second. Chat. Let's see. Yeah, they're still in break. Wow. Now, chat, I will tell you, I am going to have to call this stream. I got about 20 minutes left before I got to call the stream. If you watched on Rumble or Kick, y'all do know why. If you watched on Rumble and Kick during the intro, you do know why. But I can't, and I think they're about to wrap for the day anyway, even though supposedly they're going till 5. I'm surprised they're going till 5 on a Friday with the jury. Remember, their whole thing is not to burn the jury out. But if you know, you know. I got to go do a few things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was reading donations before. My bad. Such a bad streamer. Such a bad streamer. Okay. Ignacio, thank you for the 5. It says the Tisa Tells chick name drop Jane Doe. Okay, I don't give a fuck. 0, thank you for the $1. Teflon, thank you for the 5. He says he's been charged. Okay, so he's answering the question I asked earlier. He says, yeah, Diddy's being charged with running game. Isn't that's why they coming at the Tate brothers for running game? Basically, remember, all these women now are like, oh my God. Like, they're testifying to say in the moment, I wanted to do this to please him. They were trying to please him to get to a particular place in his life. And then they were oftentimes disappointed or upset when they saw him with other women. What is 50's baby mom saying? Yo, I did these free calls for you to spend your quality time. Remember, she would admit, my satisfaction of the free calls was when I got alone time and special time with him. Now they're admitting, yo, we did these free calls with you for you to go spend time with another woman. What's going on? They feel mad. They feel tricked, bamboozled. But it's not bamboozled in terms of sex trafficking. It's bamboozled like, yo, like, I thought you were my guy. Captain Hart, thinking for 5. It says, yo, here we go. Okay. So they're back. So all rise. Right? Comey says, pull up this exhibit. So what is this? Jane Doe says, it's a copy. It's a note on my notes. So were you writing what you were feeling at the time? She says, yes, I wrote. She wrote, you lied straight to my face to use me for hotel nights before your trip. Comey says, when you took a break from Sean, where did you travel? She said, France. Sean started texting me again and again. Paris, Paris, Paris. How did it make you feel? That he cared. But I knew I had to stay strong. I went away for 5 days. Jane says, he was adamant we should see each other. I missed him too. Why? Because I loved him. Soon we were planning to go to Turks. I'd go to Miami first. How would Sean write to you? He said, a night of debauchery, then go to the beach. Jane said, I said, no. We have to reconnect. He said, cool. Comey says, AUSA, did that turn out to be true? No. What did you do in Miami? We bickered about Paris. He says his girl can't just up and leave like that. What's this photo right here? It's a photo of her dinner. Then what? He took a pill and we went to a hotel. We were watching porn. Sean says, do you want Don? AUSA asks, well, what did you say? She said, yes. Well, why did you say yes? She said, I was just used to it. And after that freak off, we went to Turks. Wow. So she admits she obliged. And Peace Dealer, thank you for all the gifted subs. Peace Dealer also said, I reached out to give you a consultation on your birthday. You know, you wanted to know what kind. It's an astrology reading. I am willing to bet you $1,000 you'll be accurate. All I want is your honest feedback. No Name says, Ack, you're the realest. That's why I fuck with you. Been a chat nigga since middle school. Nothing bigger than the chat. Brother, you didn't tell me. Do you want me to unfollow your girl? Like, it's cool. If I follow your girl, like, I don't know her. Like, I check my DMs. There isn't a lane I follow. I will unfollow her. It's fine. We don't have no conversations. Let me know. I like people to be upfront, okay? Young Nino, thank you for the 2. Says, if Diddy wins, 50 still giving him the beats. Okay? All good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Oh, I should unfollow her right now, right? Yeah, I'm gonna unfollow her right now. Shit. Cause y'all about to be on her neck next. All right, I hit. Oh, she private. Yeah, how did I even end up following her? How do I follow a girl that's like private and shit? All right, bro, let me know. Anyway, all good. So they went to Turks. Let's see. Somebody says, this is where our tax dollars is going, shaking my head. And I guess the disappointment is coming from, it feels like these women were struggling to try to get Diddy within their grasp, trying to keep him faithful, trying to make him do what they wanted to do. And out of desperation, a lot of times, it appears that they would, do these freak offs or even suggest it just to get closer to him. So I guess that's what they're saying. How is that Diddy's fault? Somebody said it's right. Do you want Don? The answer is yes. It said, folks, this is on direct examination. Correct me if I'm wrong. They haven't yet read a message where Jane Doe's answers to any of these questions says no. That's going to be important. I'm going to be honest with you. They might give Brian Steele this one. They might give Brian Steele this shit. This might be Brian Steele's show. What are you talking about? Queen Prodigy says she finna gawk just you nosy. Nah, bro. Like, leave my man alone. Yo, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, chat, like, this is gonna sound crazy to you. Like, and I hope I don't, like, I don't even want to say this because, like, even at my meet and greet, like, I love meeting couples, right? And, like, I remember even my first show, there was people, like, there's women, beautiful women that DM me and be like, hey, listen, my boyfriend watches and listens to you all the time. His birthday's coming up. I just want to get him a gift to come see you, and I'm going to come with him. And that's just regular shit. That's just normal stuff. I'm not going to lie. The number one, like, most of the times a girl hits me up, I ain't going to lie, chat. Her boyfriend introduced me to her. She, like, this is how it always happened, I promise you. She's like, yeah, she never hits me up. She waits till she gets rid of the nigga. She'll be like, yeah, my boyfriend used to listen to you all the time. Like, he would just be playing you all the time. I said, what happened to your boyfriend? She'll be like, yeah, we broke up. So it's good. I'm like, what? But still, now it happens a lot. So if one of my chat niggas is saying, unfollow my girl, bro, I got you. I love you too much, bro. Let me tell you this. Women, like, well, not all women, but women will go, they'll go with the wind. My chat niggas are here to stay. So if I follow your girl, it's cool. It's cool. Somebody said Noah's Ark. Yeah, that's the place I see everybody goes in Turks, right? Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark Turks. Like, everybody's dying to just go here. The water is clear, though, huh? New Facts on Lock says, yo, Wayne's team really let him ruin his legacy. Nah, I think Wayne's such a veteran, it don't matter what he dropped. He's already a legend. He's already a legend. Yo, rest up. What's up with you, bro? King Buck, what's up with you? Somebody said, hard on thoughts, act making a comeback. What y'all said? I was down bad last couple years. It's been a couple tough years, chat. It's all good. It's recovery. Somebody said, I'm about to take some chick to Turks. Nah. Actually, I was gonna go there I was gonna go there on for like my birthday, but I'm really not trying to go nowhere until this trial is done. So I don't know if y'all know that. I would have did some shit for my birthday, but the trial started and fuck it. I'll go on a trip after this shit because I think what we're doing here is just too important. Why don't I talk about Trump and Epstein? Only Diddy? I don't know if Trump's on the Epstein list. Only person we saw say that was Elon Musk. And apparently they got on a call today and they're piecing it up. They're about to become BFFs again. I don't know. I should go to Egypt on some spiritual shit. Nigga, I could just go to my backyard. What the hell? Yo, Jay Patek. Yeah, listen. You heard what Future said. You just gotta let the streets pay the tab now, you know? Let the streets pay the tab. You can't keep them. If you can't keep what they want to stay, you gotta let them go. Trump's on that list. Stop playing. I don't know. Like, what y'all think I'm like? This is what I don't like what y'all do. Y'all acting like I'm hiding some shit. I don't know Trump on the list. Him and Elon start beefing out of the blue. It looked like some shit you would see on Shade Room. I've never seen shit like that before. What happened to the thing I'm gonna do with the white girl? Are you talking about Lauren Conlon? Yeah, me and her have been in communication. We're gonna do like a sit down where, I could get to ask her certain questions. Cause she's been in court every day. Oh, she said she wasn't gonna be there today. Oh, that's why. Remember she said it yesterday? She wasn't gonna be in court today. That's why we didn't get an update. Okay. Fruit jams. Let's go with you, bro. What? Axe back fat. What type of name is that? Axe back fat. Yo, I'm getting skinny now, right? Like, look, nigga, I'm kind of. Yo, I know I was losing some weight. I could finally see a vein in my forearm. I'm like, yeah. A Drake update? Drake's working on music. I haven't heard it. Actually, I don't even know. I got to talk to Drake. I'm going to talk to him. Last thing I hit him about was OVO Fest. But I'll get some more details on it. I've been letting him cook and not hitting him with random this and third. Yo, my boy know he got to cook up a classic. It got to be a classic. Not Jenny from the block. What's up? Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think this is a sickness of mine. Yo, I could spot fineness from a PFP this small. I see Not Jenny for the block. I clicked on him like, yeah, look at her, a little bad. I'm like, somebody said what? Yeah, no. I'm trying to do something with Unc. I'm trying to do something with all these YouTubers. And also, like, we sit here and I talk to y'all all the time. Y'all, you know what somebody said? We want to see people challenge you, right? And yeah. Dirk new paperwork dropped. I'll pull it up after the stream. It's sealed. Dirk's new paperwork is sealed. That's a problem. Yeah, I don't know if Drake's album is going to be called Iceman, but maybe it is. I don't know. Drake and Dot, both UK. What? Trump frame Diddy, 21 Savage update. Me and 21 Savage been playing phone tag. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping this means he got some music coming, but me and him, he called me. I ain't answer. I call him. He ain't answer. He called me back, and I forgot what I was doing. And I called him back, and he was getting out of the car. So 21's my guy. I think it's time. Matter of fact, I think it's time. Next time I talk to 21, I'm going to talk to him tonight. I'm going to put some pressure on him. I think it's time for him to drop music. Yeah. We need a 21 Savage album. Facts. Somebody says, where Kyrie been at? I don't know. Kyrie not in the Discord? Somebody said, Ak had who on what? With the who on the what? Stop playing. All right, man. We got enough. Let's get to the tweets, bro. Let's get to the tweets. Okay. Here we go. We got some tweets. So they went to Turks. Comey says, what happened in Turks? So Paul came in. Jesus Christ. Did he bring in the prostitutes to Turks? What happened? I'm back in an outfit. I'm trying to do another round. It was painful. I couldn't have sex. Why not? I was extremely sore. Sean tried to lube me up. Damn. He said, you can't take any more dick? What the fuck? I threw the bracelet and said, you only brought me to suck dick for you. Oh, my God. Yo, Diddy, 50. 50. I ain't even going to cap with you. This is diabolical. Your baby mom's is in a tirade screaming at Diddy saying, you only brought me to Turks to suck dick for you. Yo, chat, this is a freak off world tour, man. Fuck what Drake had going on. This is the real tour called It's a Blur. After so much drugs and 2CU taking and all this goddamn GHB cocktail, your memory is going to be a blur. It's a blur. It's a blur, people. It's a blur. This is the Grand National Freak Off Tour. This is a stadium one. They're in Turks with it. She said, you only brought me here to suck some cock for you. I was talking, then sat on the steps of a villa. AUSA says, did Sean ever talk? She says, yes. He said, how could you make me look like that in front of Paul? So I guess she said that in front of Paul. And Diddy said, how could you embarrass me like that? Why would you say some shit like that? Jane says, Sean told me to apologize to Paul. I messaged him and said I was sorry how I acted and that I was really glad he'd come out to see me. Comey says, who told you to do that? Jane, Daphne Joy says, Sean. Oh, shit. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Don't make my heart turn cold. Have mercy on... Somebody said, have mercy on her tonsils. Jesus. I ain't gonna lie, chat. And according to the internet, I just started getting pussy like yesterday, so that's what it is. But I've never seen a woman who is essentially admitting she's so sore from sucking dick. She's sore from fucking and sucking dick. This is another level, chat. Jay Mason, thank you for the 5. He says, Ak, you think Queen Moreland? Okay, yeah, that's Nicole Westmoreland. You're calling her Queen Moreland? I like that name. You said, should she do the cross or should Steele? I'm going to say Steele. I'm going to tell you why. Currently, there's nothing that Jane Doe is saying that is basically, I think you're bringing Nicole Westmoreland if you're trying to point out that this person's a liar. I don't think that's a problem with this testimony. What you need to point out in this testimony is that she liked it and she's money hungry and she knew what she was doing and she wanted to do it. And when the going was good, she had no complaints until he got locked up and her ass went broke. You bring in Brian Steele for that, so I would say Brian Steele. It's a love. It's the gloves for me. Thank you for the chat membership. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy. So gloves to me. I see you out there. Queen Prodigy, I see you. She says, Pum Pum can't bench press. Ooh, I see you. Somebody says Steel gonna drop 50. I think Steel's gonna do it. Well, here's the thing. This can't be halfway through her testimony. Why am I saying this, chat? The reason why I'm saying this is because she hasn't yet alleged abuse. She hasn't talked about him putting hands on her. All she said is, I was cool with the freak offs at first, but he ain't want to stop. It opened up Pandora's box. King Buck, thank you for them 5 gifted memberships, man. Yo, chat, I want to give y'all an update. And King Akademiks chat, we going to have to holler at y'all because it ain't no way. Let me look right now. This shit don't make no sense to me. Oh, shit. King Akademiks started out with more viewers today, but the Academy got more viewers right now. King Akademiks got 7,000. The Academy got 8. Oh, wow. Wow. Let me give you this interesting tidbit. And I'm still shocked because King Akademiks is supposed to be the bigger page. Let me tell you this. Okay. As far as members go, we have 535 members on the Academy. 535. Let's go to King Akademiks. How do I look at it again? Here we go. On King Akademiks, which is the bigger page, we only got 301. We got 301 to 75? I forgot what number I said. So the Academy is kind of doubling them numbers. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the chat on the screen. I don't know. But the Academy is running it up. I got to be honest. Okay? All right. Here we go. By the way, I see you, Deanna. I see you. Am I saying your name right? Comey says, what did you write to Sly? I asked if he could come to Turks. I told him he need a passport. Do you have your shots? I asked him, did he have his vaccinations? Do you have your passport? Do you have your shots? Girl, do you want to come back with Rob to America? She sounded like R. Kelly to me. So 50 Cent baby mama asked this question.
You have your passport. Did you get your shots?
Did you get your shots?
Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America.
Look at this face right here.
Rob to America.
Look at this. Jesus Christ. America.
America. Do you have your passport?
Yup.
Did you get your shots?
Girl, do you like to come back with Rob to America?
America.
Why he shake his head like that? This is some sex trafficking shit, chat.
Do you have your passport?
If you could make sex trafficking sound melodic and harmonic, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Free that nigga out of jail, man. Come on, bro. This is the type of nigga that he could make anything sound good. Nah, I'm sorry. This nigga made a PSA recruitment video for sex trafficking, and it sounded fire. Nigga, the way he said it, nigga, I was trying to check my passport. Like, hold on, is my shit like expired? Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Shit.
And you get your touch. Who wants to come back when
I ain't even gonna cap with you. This shit was so fire, I started raising my own hand. I'm like, nigga, I forgot I'm in America, and he don't want niggas. He's trying to recruit for some other shit. Oh my God. Let's stop it, Chad. Let's keep it going. Okay. What did Sly respond? He says, I'm willing, but I don't got that vaccination card. So why did you do this? She says to make it up to Sean. So she tried to get another sex worker to pipe her down that Diddy could be happy. AUSA says, why did you write this way to Sly and Paul? I wanted them to feel good, like they weren't being used. Why? I just do. What was the love contract? Oh my God, this is Brother Love right here. It's that Brother Love shit, man. Niggas say he signed a love contract. He asked how much I want per month. Oh, so he was signing. Yo. What the hell is a love contract, chat? I guess that's where he notarizes the amount that he's gonna trick on you for. So apparently that's where he said, how much did you want per month? She said 15, and he said 10. Oh my God. So that's the love contract. Did he start paying your rent? Yes. Who paying your rent now? Diddy. What? Diddy still paying the rent? What else did he pay for? My teeth. What do you mean? Sean ain't like my teeth, so I got new veneers. He also paid to furnish my house. My allowance didn't just do it. I used 3 credit cards. What? What? Oh, nah, they going crazy on the Academy page right now. Can't compete with them motherfuckers. So Diddy said, Diddy was like mad particular. I don't like your teeth. Go get them done again. Got this chick in there. Got this chick probably in Colombia with them chiclets. Holy shit. I see ya. By the way, shout out to Leslie Seabrooks. Thank you for becoming a member on King Academics. 02 says, we got to give this cross to Westmoreland. She will shred. I don't think you can go wrong with either or, but I do think it's a Brian Steele moment. James Odiambo. Thank you for becoming a member as well. Okay. Joshua Bentacore says, I'll fly out, to Cali, business class. No Diddy. Sound Diddy-esque to me. Holy shit. So Diddy paid for her teeth. Got her furnished a spot. Diddy's still paying the rent? Wow. Diddy is still paying her rent. Wow. Imagine paying the rent of somebody who's testifying for the government. And now here's the thing too. It doesn't mean she's all the way flipped on Diddy, but it pretty much kind of does, right? Because she's going to have to allege the abuse. Right now she's talking kind of nice. I told you yesterday's interrogation of her and even today, it felt like she was kind of saying, fuck with this nigga. They're going to have to change his tone very quickly. RR, think of it too, says, Stevie J says, gang smashed Daphne. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Really? Oh.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? That she would gang them? Or is it that you sucking little Rod dick? However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis!
Oh, shit.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Cause she would gang them? Or is it that you sucking little Rod dick? However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV.
This was a year ago. But I think nobody thought Daphne was going to be involved like that. Low Life Red Thing for the Two says, America. So, yeah, Stevie J did call us out.
50 Cent is reacting.
Let's see. I had promised him an all-star party. Okay, this is after, Diddy paid for the new teeth. Promised him all-star party. What's that? He said, I'd bring the top 3 guys all in the same night. Oh, man. She was going to fuck. She said an all-star party is she was going to fuck the top 3 niggas that Diddy likes same night. Same night. All-star party. This is nasty work, chat. Chat, I'll be in court the next day, nigga, with this bitch. You can't kiss my son no more with them lips. She was having an all-star. The all-star game went down in her throat. I'm sorry, that's crazy. The all-star game can't go down in my baby mama mouth. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Chat, the all-star game went down with her tonsils, gang. I can't, nah. No way. An all-star game happening in your girl's mouth is crazy. The all-star game. Nah, I got to tweet about this one. Nah. Nasty work, chat. Nasty work. An all-star game going on in your girl's throat is crazy. This is crazy. I got to put this on Instagram, too. I just want to hear what people got to say. This is crazy, chat. This is nasty work, chat. This is nasty work. This is nasty. They said, why would you do that? Well, I was with my lover and he liked that. I told him only one rule to the freak off that could happen tonight. The all-star game. The all-star game, chat. The all-star game. Only one rule. Here's the rule. I got to be awake at 8 a.m. on Sunday. Now, we don't know if this was Saturday. We don't know if this was Saturday because we know they got a slam dunk contest. Don't they got a slam dunk contest, chat? Don't they got the 3-point contest? Don't they got the skills challenge? Don't they got the rookie game, chat? Don't they got the celebrity game, chat? This was an all-star weekend for the ages, and it was happening in her throat. This is crazy, chat. This is crazy. Nah, this one's crazy. This is crazy. The skills challenge happening in her throat is diabolical. It's diabolical, chat. The rookie challenge, oh, that's crazy. A nigga doing a dunk contest in your girl's mouth is ridiculous. Somebody said commercial included. You need Jesus. Stop playing. Stop playing. This is bad work, chat. This is bad work. She said an all-star contest. It says, this the first text? Jane says he felt hesitant about my all-star party. He says, does your pussy hurt? You ain't being straight with me. Comey said, and the second, a minute later, he quoted my text asking for more furniture. So she was going to do an all-star game in her mouth and her pussy. This is crazy, chat. I got to put this up on Instagram, bro. This is crazy. And all she wanted was, can I get that furniture? The shit a bitch will do for a nice sectional is ridiculous. Chat, go check to make sure your girl didn't suck some dick for that sectional in her crib. Make sure she ain't sucked some cock for it. Just ask for receipts. Just ask for receipts. Bitch, how the fuck you get this? How the fuck you get this couch I roll out into a bed? What the hell? Bitch, you on Tempur-Pedic? Who dick you sucked? Who dick you sucked for this Tempur-Pedic bed, bitch? Who? Bitch, what type of all-star goddamn game did you have for this motherfucking dresser right here? What all-star game you had up in your mouth for this fucking dresser? This shit's so crazy. This shit is so crazy. Diddy said, bitch, don't your pussy hurt? Nah, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. It's like Diddy looking out for her. Don't your pussy hurt at this point? An all-star game freak off is diabolical, chat. Comey says, Sean writes, RICO is ready. Who was that? He said, that might be a man named Michael. Or wait, maybe it was role play. I think Sean was RICO. You don't know? No, I don't know who RICO was. Holy shit. Holy shit, chat. Holy shit. I've never seen some shit like this, chat. I gotta post this on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. I need everybody to go see this shit. This shit sound crazy. An all-star freak off is ridiculous. 50 deserves full custody. 50 deserves full custody. Let me add that to the post. An all-star freak off is diabolical, chat. This is diabolical. Give me 1 second. Holy, man. Jesus Christ.
Name, they were just good people.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a couple people?
I have. Terry Lynn Carrington.
Okay.
My very good friend.
Let me see. Let me see. As I said, I knew when that was asked, Cam got tipped off on that. Pause. This is crazy, Chad. This is crazy.
I think everyone has hope.
This is not going to go well.
It's not going to go well.
Nah, he got the elf shoes on.
Puff took Cassie from Ryan Leslie.
I mean, it appears to be as such,
Yes.
right? I mean, you know.
Stevie J, Daphne Joy. You ever spoke about it after that or no?
Daphne, what brought you out tonight?
My girlfriend, Miss Jackson, she's been a really good friend of mine for a few years now, and she's coming out with a show with Nelly, and I'm just here to support.
So would you ever consider doing a reality show, because you have a high-profile relationship too?
I mean, if it had anything to do
Was
with...
Daphne Joy one of Floyd's girls? Who was she with? Who was her guy at that time? Who's her guy at that time?
with maybe like kids fashion or like something fashionable, things like that, then maybe. But I'm kind of a pretty private person, so probably not. I don't know. Yeah.
So is that what you're working on, like kids clothing?
Yeah, I'm working on like a kids clothing line because I noticed that like a lot of more little baby girls have nicer stuff to pick from, and I want some more cooler stuff for my son. So yeah.
That's what's up. So there's a lot of things been going on in the media with the Mike Brown case. You know, like a lot of looting and things like that. How do you feel about that?
I just feel like it. I mean, I was talking to some of my friends and everything, and it did seem unfair, and just.
As the years passed, they never officially confirmed the status of their relationship. And then in 2013, all hell broke loose.
Say it with me, besties. Here we go. Here we go.
50 was accused of ransacking Daphne's bedroom during a June 2013 argument at her Los Angeles condo. Daphne told police that 50 made $7,100 worth of damages in her condo. And when she locked herself in her bedroom, he kicked the door open and kicked her. Police found broken chandeliers, destroyed furniture throughout the home, clothes thrown all over the place, a broken television, and a broken lamp.
The hell wrong with him? The hell was he so mad about? Maybe he didn't like bumpy coochies. He was mad the coochie wasn't smooth. Is that it?
What was most surprising about the allegations was the police report, where investigators dropped a bombshell. 50 and Daphne had secretly welcomed a child. Yup! Daphne had quietly given birth to a baby boy named Sire Jackson in September 2012, which was about 9 months before their domestic incident went down. In a statement, her lawyer said, Daphne Joy and Curtis Jackson have been together for a few years in an exclusive relationship. They had a child, and now Daphne's #1 priority is to ensure both her and the baby's safety during this difficult time. However, the Los Angeles city attorney referred to Daphne as 50's former girlfriend. 50 was facing up to 5 years in prison, but he took a plea deal and was ordered to do 30 days of community service, and he was placed on 3 years probation. By that point, it appeared that their romantic relationship was over.
Bye, Ashley.
It wasn't until January 2014 that 50 publicly acknowledged their son, Sire. Then came July 2015. 50 was ordered to pay Rick Ross's baby mama $5 million after he posted a sex tape of her and another man online in order to get under Rick's skin. Weeks later, 50 filed for personal bankruptcy in Connecticut. He told the court he was only worth about $4.4 million, and his online displays of wealth were all smoke and mirrors.
Look at him trying to get out of that lawsuit.
His lawyer told the court that 50's bank account was approaching $0 because of unpaid debts, which included $1,737 he owed to his grandfather.
Not him borrowing money from Paw.
As for 50, he told the court, now that I filed for bankruptcy, I'm not as cool as I was last week.
Ninja, just sit your ass down. You ain't been cool since Go Shawty, it's your birthday.
The most interesting part about his bankruptcy filing was the revelation that Daphne was only receiving $1,267 per month in child support, and his first child's mother, Shaniqua Tompkins, was receiving a little over $6,000 per month.
Oh, really? What happened to have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire?
That's the biggest scam 50 did, man. 50 done told these chicks you get a baby by him, you be a millionaire. Cap! By the way, Laura Villalobos, thank you so much for, she copped something off the academy.shop. Also salute to Brittany. I keep telling you, man, this is why I gotta love my chat queens. My chat queens always, they always doing some shit. Oh, she copped the hoodie. Okay, girl. And she used a discount code. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Brittany. Thank you for that, Brittany. Holy shit.
While 50 had all that going on, Daphne moved on with Jason Derulo in the fall of 2015. BET.com reported that 50 flooded his social media account with pictures of his and Daphne's son Sire during the 2015 holidays. But when Daphne and Jason went public with their romance by posting intimate vacation pictures, 50 suddenly removed all the photos of his son Sire from his Instagram feed. 50 turned the pettiness up a notch by commenting on a photo of Daphne and Jason with, "But don't worry, baby, I'm fine, just a little shook up, LMAO, good morning."
Oh, him feeling was hurt.
After about 6 months of dating, a source told TMZ that Daphne ended things with Jason. Jason moved on and later made Jenna Frumes a single mother.
Y'all messy as hell.
Ooh, that's ain't no bad. Who's this? Okay, we got a couple more tweets. This is crazy, chat. All right. So the All-Star party. So Diddy says, "Yo, your pussy don't hurt? Be straight with me." So the second said he quoted my text asking for help with more furniture for the house. Here Sean writes, "Rico's ready." So who was that? I think it was a man named Michael, or maybe it's role play. Sean was Rico. My bad. Yeah. AOC says, "You don't know?" So I don't. Comey says, "Why did you send Sean a photo of pink toilet paper?" Jane says, "To show that my period was about to come down, that I needed the night off. Let's postpone." AUSA says, "Did he write back?" Jane says, "You're getting your hair done for nothing. I'm done." What? Holy. Diddy says, "You're getting your hair done for nothing. I'm done." So it looked like Diddy didn't want to go out with her no more, or wherever.
Jenna Frumes a single mother.
Y'all messy as hell.
Daphne put her focus back on raising her son, and she and 50 patched up their friendship as well. Now, let's fast forward to July 2018. 50 was having a very busy month. After Remy Ma shared a picture of her slimmed-down figure on Instagram, 50 left a comment that read,
"Damn, Remy, you lost mad weight. Hey, Slim." With his thirsty ass.
Apparently, Remy's husband, Papoose, wasn't feeling that comment. Papoose responded,
"Damn, Daphne Joy, no wedding yet? If 50 Cent doesn't marry you, I'll introduce you to my homeboy. He's more mature." My left shoe is more mature than 50 Cent.
And then 2 weeks later, 50 was involved in another online feud. This time, it was with his on-again, off-again friend, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd posted a photo from his son's high school graduation, and 50 made fun of the boxer's literacy in the comments. A week after 50's shady comment, Floyd's ghostwriter,
"Y'all so messy."
Floyd took to his Instagram to post a lengthy response. The post, which is still on Floyd's account after all these years, drops some interesting tea. The boxer called 50 a certified snitch who hasn't had a hit song on the radio in years. Floyd then accused 50 of living in an apartment in New Jersey and staying in other people's business just to stay relevant. The most damaging part of the clapback was when Floyd wrote, "So quick to gossip like a b***. Why don't you tell everybody how you got herpes from DJ?"
Yeah. Say what now? Not the bumpy coochie again.
That drop of tea also led people to revisit D-Ray's statement he made back in 2011 about someone on the cover of Smooth magazine having a bumpy coochie.
What in the Nestle Crunch is going on in Hollywood?
Floyd ended his message by saying, "Just remember I was with you every day, and your driver Bruce was my driver also. I know where all your bones are buried. So be easy, Curtis Jackson."
Not the government name.
But he wasn't done. In another post, Floyd included a photo of Maury Povich along with side-by-side photos of 50 and his sons Sire and Marquise. In his caption, Floyd took shots at 50's strained relationship with Marquise. And then Floyd added, "Don't worry, Marquise. Uncle Floyd still got you. I would hold little man down too, but you're still not sure if he really belongs to you."
Yeah. A bumpy coochie and questionable paternity? Fix it, Jesus.
The years passed by, and 50 started a relationship with a woman named Jamira Haynes in 2019. As for Daphne, well, the rumors about the alleged snap, crackle, pop still couldn't keep the ninjas away. In April 2021, she was spotted out with Diddy. 50 reposted the image on his Instagram along with the caption, "Nah, me and Puff fight over business shit. If he liked a girl, he liked a girl. I don't give a f." Daphne would go on publicly to express her admiration for Diddy by reposting one of his shirtless photos. While looking through Daphne's Instagram account, we noticed that not only is Diddy following her, but Joy Chavis is following her too. And Daphne is following them back. In case you're unaware, Joy and Diddy were spotted swapping spit on a yacht back in September 2021. That means Daphne was hanging out with him before Joy played tonsil hockey with him.
What in the sister wives is going on here?
Although 50 appeared to be unbothered by Daphne's new romance, in September 2022, he turned the pettiness up a notch. After Daphne posted a photo of herself enjoying Diddy's iHeartRadio Music Festival performance, 50 shared a picture of him and his son, along with the caption, "Oh, that's your mommy over there with Puffy, LOL. Remember what I told you the other day? These be crazy, SMH." At that point, Daphne had had enough. She commented on his post, "Please stop doing this to me. I never bother you, and I'm an outstanding mother to our son. Can we please just focus on that, please?" Diddy got sued by his ex-girlfriend Cassie in November 2023, and they settled the lawsuit one day later. Of course, 50 couldn't help but taunt.
50 just came up in court. He's not referred to by name, but he's referred to as the father of her child. Look, so basically, Diddy says, "Yo, you got your hair done for nothing," because she said her period's about to come. Comey says, "What did you mean? Movie night was not on my mind. What was that?" Jane says, "We would not have an entertainer. We would just watch one of our own movies for hotel nights and would call it movie night." "What did you write?" Jane says, "I wrote, why do you talk about the father of my child?" That's 50. "All because you don't get your way one night and bust a nut." What did he say back in this voice message? He says, "I don't got time, baby girl." Wow. Holy. It's getting spicy, chat.
Diddy over the matter. 50 also announced that he was creating a documentary about all of the allegations. Diddy was hit with more legal issues, including a $30 million lawsuit filed by his former producer, Rodney Jones. In court docs, Rodney claimed Daphne and Diddy's other girlfriend, Young Miami, were sex workers who were hired by Diddy. Rodney went on to say Diddy paid the woman a monthly fee to be a part of his harem. Without tagging Daphne, 50 captioned an Instagram photo, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker. LOL." On March 20th, I didn't know harem. Rodney went on to say girlfriend Young Miami, Rodney Jones. In court docs, Rodney claimed Daphne and Diddy's other girlfriend.
So that claim was right by Rodney Jones then, right?
And Young Miami were sex workers who were hired by Diddy. Rodney went on to say Diddy paid.
Oh, both of them. So if one's a sex worker, what's the likelihood that Young Miami was a sex worker?
The woman a monthly fee to be a part of his harem. Without tagging Daphne, 50 captioned an Instagram photo, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker. LOL." On March 28, 2024, a source close to 50 told Us Weekly that due to the allegations about Daphne's involvement with Diddy, 50 was going to ask a court for sole custody of their son.
Sit your black ass down. Daphne took to her Instagram to deny all of Rodney's allegations. And then in a separate post, she aired 50 out. She accused 50 of only seeing their son 10 times in 2 years before launching into allegations that 50 forcefully took advantage of her. She added that he had damaged the last hope she had for him as a father to preserve their family. She added, "You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Now, keep in mind, sources have reported that she made these allegations against 50 after he made it known he was going to ask for full custody of their son. 50 didn't directly respond to the allegations against him. Instead, he posted a photo of Diddy and Daphne on his Instagram and wrote, "You moved a mile away in hopes of having another baby with me, but I was busy. So you moved back, and then you started receiving money from Brother Love. Now here we are, little sex worker." This ninja, he a big-ass baby. Man, child, he gonna cry in the car. His ass should have stayed with Vivica Fox. Hell, she had all that profit from her wig collection. Okay, she grown. She a woman of a particular age. She don't do drama or mess. She would have reeled his ass on in. Could have been somewhere eating crumpets and drinking tea, hell, with their pinky finger up. Do y'all think 50 will win full custody? Or will Daphne use their past domestic issue and his alleged detachment from their son against him in a court of law? Let us know down below. And thanks for watching this hot, stinking mess.
Okay. All right. I'm low-key pushing it with time, but let me see. Okay, so she confronts him. I guess Diddy was throwing the idea of 50 Cent in her face or talking shit about him. I guess maybe he was saying, "Yo, why the fuck am I giving you all this money? The nigga you have a kid with ain't giving you no money. He barely giving you shit. I'm giving you all this money and you don't want to do shit for me, right?" Probably was saying that. Combs did a voice note and says, "You need to get on your job." Comey says, "How did you interpret that? Making sure he's happy these nights." So how did you respond? "I thought he was always bringing up that he's always bringing up pain for the house. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like it was guilt tripping." Okay. All right. They're supposed to wrap very soon. Again, it should be the last few questions. This was supposed to end at 5. I got to run at 5. So I got to run in 5 minutes. I ain't going to lie to you, chat. I ain't going to lie. Somebody says, "How is 50 sensitive when he's cracking jokes?" Come on, chat. He's a little bit hurt. Obviously, it's not that he cares like that about her, but this becomes a stain upon 50's jacket. That's the mother of your child. Like, that's the mother of your child, right? Again, if it was just a girlfriend, nobody gives a fuck. That's the mother of your child, though. Okay? Let's see if we can get any other tweets before we wrap. Let's see. Okay. Nah, he was hurt. He was definitely hurt. He's definitely hurt. Chat, let me make sure I got all the donations read, because I do. I'm going to have to run the fuck out of here. I can't even lie to you. Let me see. I wish I could stick around. I gotta go link with Cardi. I'm sorry. I feel so fake. I gotta go link with Cardi. Maybe I get a chance to chop it up with what's the name? Someone said Diddy slamming out 50 is like Saucy doing that to you. Pause, nigga. Says doing this to a op baby mom is legendary. That's a legendary W. You think that's a legendary W? Raw Rap now says they can't even clown 50 because they all freaking the same chicks in the industry. That's true too. Blind Girls Read too. Thank you for becoming a member as well. Stevie J got a lot of energy to burn since the freak offs ended. You think Stevie J was in the freak offs? King Raji, thank you for the 2. Says free sire. DJ Gutter, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. And Brandon Wood says actually got to be put on the injury reserve for the freak offs. Holy, this is crazy. Let me get one more tweet update and then chat. I do have to run. Oh, man. Monday is going to be a fucking movie, isn't it? So this is going to continue on Monday. Okay. We're just waiting. All right, chat. By the way, thank you guys. You don't know how much it means to me to be able to do the stream today. I came in today drunk, sleep deprived, but I got it done. Y'all know I'm wearing the same outfit from yesterday. I got to go shower. I got to go do a few things and about to skedaddle in a second, man. Big act outside today, man. You know how it goes. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I think I got my security, everybody waiting on me and shit like that. We just got to make a couple of moves still, okay? Someone said act stream till 6. Come on, bro. The Academy going crazy. I know. Trust me, I never want to get off stream. Trust me. Y'all should know this, right? Okay. All right. Let me see if I get one more tweet in. If I can't get one more tweet in, man. Yeah, I can't get that last tweet in. Fuck. Chat, I love y'all. Through the good and the bad, I love y'all. You know what this has told me? Today has told me if a 100-millionaire baby mama could be bought for $333 a day, trust me, anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible. Chat, I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. If I missed any tweets, because tomorrow there's no court, but we'll do our catch up and hit Lauren. Well, not Lauren's not there. We'll hit Logic, Unk, and all these other people. Go fuck with Unk right now, then. Go fuck with Unk when he gets out of court. I don't think we're gonna get another tweet. I'm gonna be honest with you. Or else I just gotta stay here and wait for a long ass time. So, chat. Oh, here's the last tweet. Okay, cool. I think this is a good time to break for the day and the week. Jurors, thanks for staying late. Avoid any coverage about the case. All rise. All y'all, all rise. Chat, I love you. I love y'all so much. Thank you guys, giving the motivation, the strength, and the power to stream. Thank you guys. I don't take it for granted. Never 1 minute, never one moment. I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 6, okay? Today was day 5, so day 6 is tomorrow. Peace.